Boo. Whoops. That's not it. All right. The moment when people message you just as you're starting. One last thing. There we go. Question mark. What the? Dang it. There. All right then. So, this is the Metropolis video game tour. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, and we are doing another edition of Travelers of Galantine, a Traveler 5 TTRPG set in the far future. Let's get right into it. It is 1111 of Imperial Reckoning of the Third Imperium. The Third Imperium is in the height of its golden age, enjoying the rulership of Emperor Strefon Elia Alcalakoi. Long may he reign. It has been a full year since the armistice ended the Fifth Frontier War between the Jordani Consulate and the Third Imperium, with a return to status quo de jure, but de facto the Sword Worlds Confederation have lost many of its worlds to become a new Imperial client state, formed in the aftermath. A year of post-bellum in the Spin Marches sector has seen a dynamic shift of recovery, renewal, and opportunity for many a traveler to benefit from, not the least of which the lifting of the sector-wide Amber status by the Traveler's Aid Society. Between the interests of the Mentalist Jordani, the Imperials with the Darrian Confederation allies, seeking to uphold their self-appointed warrant of restoration, and the fiercely independent Swordworlders, the will of humanity is made manifest in courts of high pageantry, to the respectable private courts of TAS member lounges, to courts low and dark of spacer bars. Among the million stars, we look to one particular world in the Darrian Confederation, the jewel of all its technological might, both ancient and modern, and the seat of power for this small but influential empire. We look to Darrian. And not to the planet below itself with its soaring cities and beautiful atmosphere, but to the grand shipyards that float overhead with one of the most advanced shipyards in all of humanity. where ships small and large are built, maintained, both privately owned and governmentally owned, I suppose, by the various nobility and naval forces of the Darrian Confederacy. At present, Sir Calcian Langoff and Tarban Arctos have landed along with the rest of their fellow traveling companions at the High Port, and the facilities here are incredibly technologically advanced. You see, rather than saying digital displays on like screens and stuff, you see full 3D holographic displays. You see various screens kind of flicker to life as they seem to notice you, and they'll change their advertising to who you are, what your social standing is. The various staff there are especially how to put it? They're especially well versed in the etiquette, especially to sort of Calcian Langoff, who they recognize as a knight of the Darrian Confederation. To them, it does not matter that you're not Darrian with pointed ears and the beautiful angular features of their species, but you wear the sash of nobility. It is confirmed, and you know. Then there's no paperwork. There's no signing. You just walk through, and the scanners detect that you're wearing it, and it matches your biometrics. So they know it's you with your genetic profile wearing that sash. If anyone else was daring to wear it here in Darrian, they would very quickly find out how quick the Space World Authority is going to dump them to the planet and go, this is a Darrian problem, bye. They would speak, of course, to Calcian. Actually, unless he noted in his file, they would speak to him in his Anglic, because that's where he hails from. But they would speak to him in the Darrian language, Tzolt, I believe it was. If that's something he noted in his files, like, I prefer to be spoken to in the local language rather than my birth language.
Yeah, I think part of being respected in Darrian society is probably also taking part in Darrian society.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't want to be everybody's favorite Soleimani.
Yeah.
I want to be in the in group. So yeah, I'll speak Tzolt. Also, I imagine most of the Soleimani that live on Darrian who aren't ex-Imperial speak Tzolt, so I think that'd be more natural.
Yeah. To Tarban, they will, of course, speak in Anglic. And they have... There's no mystery, like in the adverts and stuff like that. The Darrian definitely run into Sophons who are not humanity. So it is not weird to them. Because, heck, they even have... You even see, while you're walking around, you see Aslan Sophons, lion type anthropoids. So dealing with fur and animal-like non-humanity Sophons is not that weird. You see the occasional hiver here. If people want to get work in the most technologically advanced stuff, the cutting edge in all the known galaxy, this is where people work. Most of the people here are Darrian, but there are smattering. The largest other group other than the Darrian themselves is the Aslan, because as Aslan Hierate is actually fairly close to them, compared to other species. But yeah, it smells clean without smelling sterile. It's busy, but you notice there's this natural flow where you can see occasionally people tend to be able to find where they need to go. There's help everywhere. You get a complimentary data slate, so if you are lost, you can access the Starport Authority computer at any time, free of charge. They don't mind. You can even keep the data slate if you want, as a souvenir.
Fancy.
And even when the ship that you came over on docked, normally you would lower the dock ramp and then you would sell there. They let them do that, but there's actually like staff from the Starport Authority on loan from Darrian who go, hey, Do you need help with anything? Do you want us to move anything? Do you want help making a broker? Do you need to make a call? So on and so on and so on. They're incredibly helpful here. And very welcoming of any alien trade. Oh, and before we get any further on that, we need to see what the initiative. Roll initiative now. Intuition. So you both owe me 2d6.
Okie dokie. Get to the right screen.
So Calcian gets insight of 9, and Tarbin gets 7 curiosity and 7 luck.
Ooh.
Because you're both the second place and the last place person.
So I'm getting curiosity and luck, right?
Yep. And it's 7 in each, not linked.
Nice. That could come in very handy.
Yeah, I will say, as you're kind of seeing all these people moving about, very quickly, as advanced as it is, you get the reason why they make sure everyone gets a data slate. If you hold the data slate to your chest and you don't look at any of the emblems and symbols that mark the various areas, it looks like this mass of chaos, this movement of people and things and lights and noises, and it's just, if it wasn't for all the signage and the fact that you have your own portable map with the computer, it's like you don't see in some starports there'd be a little data computer you could walk over to and go, hey, where am I? Hey computer, tell me this. It's like no. If we did that, nothing would ever get done here. There'd be lineups everywhere. You occasionally can see the people who aren't used to being here looking at the data slate, looking up and looking for a symbol, because they don't translate every single store signage into Anglic, Tzelt, Zettel, Zagmal. It's like, no, this is a symbol. If you looked at that symbol, you're like, what the hell does that mean? Computer, what does that symbol mean? You have to hold it up to know. Oh, that's the bathroom. What? Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's a bathroom for sofas with 2 legs. That one's with 4 legs. That one's if you're mostly cybernetic. Like, what the?
Well, I was thinking, this one's for 1 leg, this one's for 4 legs, this one's for if you have a docking port.
Yeah. It's it is also strange, but it's the sort of thing that travelers, especially the two of you, or any travelers deal with this a little better than most. This is, you go to an alien world or world far from home, this is the feeling both of you have had traveling among the stars, even before you became official travelers. Every port is a little different. Every starport's a little different. So anyone who's just like, I'm going to go on a day trip to Darrian from Nars, or something like that, it's like, you are going to be lost here very quickly. That's why we give everyone pads. But that said, they have stores for everything. Doesn't matter what Sophant you are, they have a store for it, or a food shop for it, or a weapon store for it, an armor store for it. They have various maps in various languages. There's courses that they offer on the planet if you're coming from various places. Transition services or bridging courses in case you come from a place that has training or instinct. They have that. But yeah.
I'm very interested to scroll through the ads and see if the fashion tastes on Darrian have changed since I was last here.
Oh, of course they have.
Then I click on one of the ads and make an appointment to be to a boutique to be correctly outfitted.
Oh, a tailor is on staff for that, so they have one especially for nobility. So it's like, hey, you're on the fast track. Cool. Here's one of our tailors, and they'll get you in the latest outfit, latest fashion. Especially with your standing, it's one of those. This is the sort of thing you're paying for, is constantly being able to do this. Also, by the way, speaking of, you both owe me your social standing, because it is oh no, I'm wrong. 5 plus 7. Yeah, it's past 110. Yeah, it's not 205 anymore. It is now.
It took us another 7
212.
days after last episode. to
Yep.
get here. So that's 100 times social standing?
Yep.
So...
Oops, that's not right. I got the... No, you're right. I wrote something else wrong. There we go. It's every 30, so... 240 is the next payday. The next payout day, rather.
Okay. So yeah, Tarvin will pay his 1,100.
Same amount.
And today, the new big color is purple mixed with gold.
Yes, I'm sure that's of great concern to Sufants who actually wear clothing for whatever reason.
You wear
In
armor.
the meantime, why don't we head over to the TAS lounge and hotel and get our items secured in the vault.
Notably, Curdy is completely just floored. Like the rest of the travelers kind of go off and your fellow travelers go off and do their things, and they're like, "Oh, cool! I want to look at this. I'm gonna go look at that." Curdy's just the country bumpkin going like, "What in God's name am I looking at?"
I'll take Curdy gently by the elbow as he's rubbernecking. I'll take Calcium by the elbow as he's making his sartorial appointments and kind of guide us all to the lounge.
Some people make flirtatious whistles that you have two people on your arms.
Hotel. I just grin and nod.
I mean, not that kind of bear, right?
I mean, you know what they say about Ursa?
Nice.
They're warm and cuddly. So to the
You know, they say dinner plate size paws. It means they're really hard to fit for gloves.
even the TES lounge, as you step into it, it is this massive multi-floored complex that's hotel slash resort slash lounge. Like there is the nice comfy familiar lounge of the nice little red booths and the wood paneling and the nice glass, because TS just has that look that they like to have. They have at least that, just so you have a place of familiarity and just to save yourself from the alienation of, whoa, I'm in a completely alien place. Let's go to some place that's familiar to everybody. But it's like, yeah, but we have more room and more funding here, so here's all the other stuff we can do here.
Yes, well, let's go to the banking slash vault services.
You walk up to an empty desk. You see a little contact on the table in front of you.
I will interact with it.
You see a flash of your universal personality profile number go right above your fingertips. It blinks a couple times. It fades. And then you see a humanoid hologram appear before you. Hello, and welcome to the TES Member Lounge here over Darrian. How can I help you, Sir Carlson?
We need to secure this item.
Of course, if you would just set it on the table here.
I do so.
Is there any hazardous material or that we need to be aware of, or any special packing instructions you wish us to have?
Possibly hazardous, but unknown.
Unknown hazard, noted. For how long would you like it kept? It changes where we store it. It can be for indeterminate if you like.
I would say accessible storage for an as yet indeterminate period of time.
Indeterminate time. All right. So You see a flicker in the hologram as it kind of tilts its head. Noted. Who would you like this key to? Just yourself?
A triple key for those present.
Curdy just kind of stares blankly at this tech that's way beyond his tech level. He's completely flabbergasted. He's heard of holograms. Tech 10 has heard of holograms. Not an interactive, perhaps even sapient AI talking to him.
Right.
Like, he's just, what? If you would put your... And then you see parts of the table just dissolve away in little biometric contacts. The one in front of Calcian's the same size. The one in front of Tarbin is larger to accommodate his paw. And then one appears next to Curdy. And you see a little handprint outline appear on it and arrows. It says, please touch here.
Tarbin will put his hand down.
Same.
Do I put my hand here? The hologram just looks at him. Yes, sir. Won't hurt? No, sir. You're sure? Yes, sir.
No, it's extraordinarily painful, but we put up with it. Just do it.
Wait, it is? He is kidding,
Yes.
sir. Please put your hand down. Okay, and he very gingerly touches it, and he lifts his hand. The thing dissolves away. Biometric keys noted. And he looks over at Tarbin. Hello, Mr. Tarbin. Glad to see you today.
Is this also where I would, get my room done, or is this just for the banking and vault services?
I can make arrangements here, but if you want a more personalized service, there is a desk specifically for that, but we're all linked together.
I think I'll head over to the hotel desk, but thank you so much for your help.
He nods, and then you notice the package you put on the desk. It just it just lowers into the desk, very quiet, whisper quiet. The only people who probably hear the humming of the technology are the three of you because you're so close to it. And eventually, the top of the table resolves back to a solid form, and the package is gone. Where did it go? Use your tablet, Mr. Curdy. What? How'd you know my name? I scanned your biometrics, Mr. Curdy. He gives an apologetic look to Calcian and Tarbin, like, shrug, I can't. I'm doing what I can, sort of look.
Tarbin kind of nods, like, we know.
I'm confused about how this guy defrauded a corporation.
Tech level 10, 11 is perceivable. He's in tech level 16. This is beyond him entirely. And he's not a traveler. Not a true one, anyway. Which is probably why he got stuck back on Spoon. Because
Right.
he didn't get he didn't finish the whole route.
Yeah, that tablet they had you is pretty much going to be your most valuable single possession while you're here.
Oh,
Any questions or data you might need just getting around and basic things you'll find there.
oh, okay. Taps at it. And he seems a lot more comfortable because data slate is something tech level 10 's perfectly, hell,
Right.
tech level 8 understands
Right.
what a PDA is. That's personal data assistant for those who are too young to know what that means. Anyway.
Bastards. Little fetuses.
I guess we should also make an appointment with Deck Knowles.
Yeah, I think we check into the hotel and then we can go through the business center or the concierge to try and arrange an appointment.
You're able to arrange your rooms without much issue. It is quite an easy thing to achieve, as you can see with the very proactive sapient AI willing to pop up wherever. It does look like the same model when you see them, but they're in different clothes each time. So wherever you're accessing, it's the same sort of face and hair, a generic human Sophont look. But it's different clothing to highlight what they're doing, what their job is. With a helpful old name tag, probably for Curdy's sake.
Fair enough.
Even in Villani, which freaks him out a little bit, but he spends a lot of time looking at his tablet and takes comfort and solace in familiar technology.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, otherwise we'll head to the. Yeah, go ahead and try and get on Deck Null's appointment list, calendar, whatever.
I would like one of you to roll for me. Oops, no wonder the name tags are weird. There we go. Put them down. A social standing roll plus a skill you believe will make getting this appointment easier.
I'm going to say it's probably up your line, Calcium, since he's Darrian. And you also have like a higher trader.
Yeah, I was thinking either broker or trader. And probably broker, not trader, because broker's about having connections and knowing how to make connections. Whereas trader's just evaluating stuff. So I would suggest broker.
Sure. You spin it as the AI helpfully walks you through it and gives you +2 to your target number.
And this was a 2d6 roll?
Yep.
So it fails on double sixes.
That looks like 2 6s to me. No.
Yeah.
I'm clicking on everything but the thing I need. There we go. It is so noted. I've received a message that he will be willing to meet you at a time as displayed on your data slate. You notice there's a pause and a flicker, like he was thinking about something, and then realized, whoops, I'm not allowed to say that out loud. Okay, then.
Very good.
What, when are we meeting him?
Say again, sorry?
When and where is the meeting set up?
In hell yesterday. No,
God, we just came from there.
I'm about to. Yep, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen.
It's not what I thought was going to happen.
Well, I'm a cynic, all right? That's why I run Traveler, the game for cynics and godless heathens. No. Let me get you a time. Millions of years from now. No.
Well, the artifact will still be around.
You have to make several generations of characters.
That's right. Oh, we're playing Pendragon in space.
Why did I roll? I rolled that a second ago. I'm smart. He's willing to meet you in 5 days.
Okay.
That's good. That gives us time to spend all of our money on Darrian, which is my life's pursuit.
And where you're meeting him, let's find out. Sure. Wait, is that so? Is that? They're actually. He's willing to meet you here at the Travelers Lounge in one of the private conference rooms.
Okay, perfect. And then the next thing we need to do is leave a message for our contact or the shipbuilder, letting them know we've arrived. I mean, I don't think our contact is actually in system yet, but
no.
We can find that waiting for him.
He's like 3 months away, I think. Because he had to go such a long way around.
He went the jump 1 route rather than the jump 2 route.
Yeah, we got lost and stranded for a whole week, and he's still going to be several months behind us. Like, the whole reason we talked to him was introduction to the shipyard, right?
Right.
Do we still need him for that?
Because you're a Darrian noble, no, because basically you need to do a Darrian shipyard commission. You need someone of social standing within the Darrian Confederation.
Okay.
So you actually don't
need. He wasn't going to place the order. He was going to make connections for us.
Okay, which you can do just as well or better. Yeah.
Then let's also make appointments with several shipyards, right? We want to get competing offers, because we're bringing with us about 500 million credits.
Jesus Christ.
That's about the value of the ship is about 500 million. I haven't added up the exact cost of this ship, but I did the costs of several similar ships, and they were all between 500 and 600 million mega credits. Not million mega credits, but 600 to 500 mega credits.
Well. Oh, that's why I'm in this book. Freak, my brain just turned right off for a second. I will require a roll. Just to figure out what skill I want to use it with. It's gonna be intelligence plus something. Because your social the fact you have a social standing above of A or higher is enough to get you, in Darrian society, is enough to get you to talk to the shipyard people will talk to you. That's not the role. This role is to figure out who has the better pricing. Is you getting the best value for your buck, so to speak. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna make
higher cost if they have something to offer.
Yeah, of course. Give me intelligence trader with 3 dice. With one, 2 of your dice are one of those dice is uncertain.
So 3D uncertain or 2D plus uncertain?
2D plus uncertain die. So
okay.
The way they write it would be like difficult 3D. And then uncertain below it 1D. So one of those dice is uncertain. So you roll 2, I roll 1.
Yep. Trying to. I don't think there's any mod justification.
I imagine you're leaving Curdy to his accommodations. You're not dragging him along with you. He just wants to be near the package, and with your 3 keys, he can't get it without you 2 anymore.
I don't know. I don't really trust him. I don't want him out of our sight. Can we try to convince him it's a good idea to like hang out with the Baron or something, so he doesn't go off doing something nefarious?
Give me a quick social standing plus relevant skill you think would help on 2 dice. And I'll give you +1 to that because he's a bit blinkered. It's going to take him a bit to adjust. He's kind of eager to not be alone for any length of time here.
Yeah, can Tarvin make this roll? What do you?
I'm only failing on double 6s without any skill.
Okay.
Which I think you would be too, right? You have a social stand. Yeah. Either of us, it's the exact same roll. You don't even really need to.
You're just boxcar checking?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
because we both have social standings of 11, and the mod makes it.
He'll hang out with the Baron.
All right. I see what you've done. You've got me to roll something else, so my good roll is out of the way.
Don't worry, I got my uncertain die roll. It's a number between 1 and 6.
So I have int trader for me is 15. So
You're one up on me then.
If I roll double sixes, that's not a failure because of the uncertain dice automatically. But then I would need you to roll a 3 or less if I. So. Oh shit! I hope you rolled a 1. That. I really hope you rolled a 1.
You are fairly certain that you know a guy who knows a guy who knew you when you were a scheming rogue. Unfortunately, he's been imprisoned, so you'll have to talk to the next best guy. I didn't roll a 1. I rolled a bloody 2.
Oh God!
You were so close.
A 2,000-ton ship just flew before my eyes, and it's gone.
That's very lucky and unlucky at the same time. But anyway.
Yeah. Then I'll tell Tarvin we got a meeting with a shipyard who's promising a lot more than we could just get on the open market.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
So when do we meet them?
At your leisure.
Oh. Well, I would. My leisure would like to spend a day, enjoying getting tailored for suits and enjoying everything that Darrian has to offer. Then we can go do business. But
It's up to you. He's at with this big account. He's willing to wait.
then yeah, we'll go tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So what do? You're at the spaceport.
Oh, I'm gonna be a bit of a hedonist and go buy all the things.
You enjoy the
fancy
fruits of
things.
your high lifestyle, of your high social standing.
I think Tarvin will enjoy some of the fruits of a really good restaurant or two.
Oh, there's quite a few. What's your social standing?
11.
11. So you probably would be invited to, especially if they. Are you a hobbyist chef or you're a certified chef, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Some of them will invite you, like to the places you go to once your universal personality profile kicks in. They're like, oh, hey, you know what? You don't have to. If you want to sit in the main area, that's up to you. But if you want a chef's table, you can come back here.
Oh heck yeah.
Like, oh heck, a real a chef from all the way from the Third Imperium and Ursine at that. Cool, come over here.
Yeah, sure.
What have you learned? And you will be. They will ask you a bunch of questions about where you're from, what kind of food you've run into. Like chefs here are eager to learn stuff. Because even though Darrian is high tech and it is a very cultured place, it's cultured also because it takes in information from everywhere.
Right, and I will ask them similar questions.
Oh, they tell you all kinds of stuff about like special. There's this new wave of going back to organic materials, like actually like grown in dirt. Like, oh, that's such an everything's so replicated and synthesized these days and properly measured for various flavonoid profiles and chemical compositions. But like, you know what? Sometimes it's just something else about the thing actually grown from the ground or actually raised from birth to table, you know? Like, that's the big thing here in Darrian, because almost everything here you quickly learn. They do make things that are shipped in, especially when someone orders it, but when you can basically materialize whatever you want, you can get very creative with your food choices. Some for the good, and some for the worse. The Aslan places you visit actually are the most picky about it being a real meat, like it's an actual thing that lived and died. So it being synthesized, they're like, that's, I don't know.
I get that.
Yeah.
Particularly when it comes to salmon.
like, I don't know, it just doesn't taste. There's not enough mercury in the salmon. I know you're not supposed to have it, but I mean, if it ain't there, is it really farmed salmon?
Doesn't taste the same unless you're standing out in the freezing cold water and catching it in your jaws.
Ooh, we have an outdoor thing for that on the ground. Catch your own fish, like all kind, because everyone's. The novelty of the season currently is as close to source as possible, which is very novel for Darrian themselves because they don't generally do that. That also means people have to do if they want to do it like actually like fish it themselves and stuff, they have to go somewhere else because Darrian is a hyper technological planet, so it's like there's not a whole lot. I mean, there are nice parks and stuff,
right?
But there's no one fishes here. You know what I mean? No one hunts here. Why would you ever need to?
But yeah, if I strike up kind of friendship with a particular chef, I'd love to trade recipes and stuff. Show them some traditional Ursai dishes and some stuff I picked up from here and there. Use some of my Villani spice. And kind of do a cultural exchange.
Yeah, you make fast friends with a Darrian chef by the name of Tikil Nissi. Who's eager to see you cook. Like after meals are done, they're like, hey, you know what? If you want to stay after and you want to mess around with some recipes, we can do that and basically get to play with all their culinary toys. Because they have, if you have a tool that you need to cook, they have it. Because this is because Highport Darrian is a huge commercial throughport. Because some people don't come down to Darrian, they just stop here for a week or a couple days while their ship's going somewhere else. Like, yeah, but you know. Whereas the low port is more for the locals. Like it's a starport meant for locals who are going somewhere within the Confederation, whereas the high port's more for travelers from afar that are coming here for whatever reason. Okay. Not that there's any rule, that's just the way it turns out, because if you're a traveler and you don't plan to go to the planet, then you can just stay in the high port and it's a floating city of itself.
Okay, cool.
To wit, Sir Calcian, if there are all kinds of pleasures, you could spend the entire day just here in Highport and still not have done even a quarter of the stuff that they have to offer, because it's its own floating city hovering in the orbit of the planet.
I guess my primary interests are like first going and indulging in all the new fashions, and then I need to go somewhere where there are not just people of my social standing, but Darrians and Darrian Soleimani who are of the nobility, and show off to them and do hedonist things with them, rather than just do all the pleasurable things.
You want to be seen doing pleasurable things with pleasurable people.
Yes. This is the
beautiful people. Anyway.
I had to spend all of those years listening to terrible Sagamore music to afford this, so...
Surprisingly, you hear that there's not a whole lot of there isn't that, ooh, you're a traveler sort of vibe to them. It's a, oh, hey, look, a fellow noble. Like the fact that you're a traveling noble bears no great interest to them, but they're like, hey, someone else who can play cards, or someone else who can go on solar sailing with us, you know, that sort of thing. You're an extra person of appropriate rank who they would deign to be seen with. It's not active. It's not like they're straight up ignoring you. It's just that, well, you are a knight, one of many knights. But then again, they are also knights or gentlemen or gentle ladies who are like, oh, well, I want to be with other people of my social standing and be seen with them. So you're running into a lot of people who are doing the same thing you are. But hey, you know, it's one of those. You know what? It's good company, and I imagine you've been to Darrian before at some point. At least the
I
high port,
assume
anyway.
I assume after escaping Grom, like I probably came here. Well, no, because the whole thing was for the last term, all of that thieving on Grom was sanctioned by some authority on Darrian. That's why I was made a Darrian Knight. I wasn't just doing it and then they were like, oh, look, you did a cool thing, we'll give you this. It was, I did this for them. So I imagine I've been at least once or twice, like 4 years ago. Like during the war.
By the end of your day, when you're finally done with your activities, you have found yourself in the company of a little over 100 different people whose paths you crossed during the day and various events and dinners and dances and stuff like that. Like, you would struggle to remember most of their names. Some of them are officers of the Darrian naval forces. Some of them are traveling merchants. Some of them are just bureaucrats in some fashion or another. But yeah, eventually the two of you are able to meet up again back at the TS Lounge, I believe, in their hotels. Unless you wanted them to get you hoteling elsewhere in the station or on the planet.
As far as accommodations go, are there like 5-star accommodations at the TAS Lounge?
Oh yeah.
Okay, then yeah, like if going down to the planet couldn't really provide better accommodations, then there's no we'll just stay here.
Some people like to touch terra firma sometimes. Get away from the stars, and other people like staying on the high port. Some travelers make you go out of their way to go to leave their starport no matter where they go. Others go, I don't leave starport if I don't have to.
We just spent 14 days on the lifeboat. Yeah, starport's good.
Yeah.
Hey, GM, is this a starport where I could set up a certification examination for engineering?
I would think so.
Oh, that's a good thought.
I think it may need to be at like a naval base, though, which this system does not actually have.
For engineering?
Starship skill.
Oh. I see what you're saying. It's a naval skill. Because it breaks it down into like...
Career.
Yeah, it's like... It's weird, because I don't think anywhere in the book it really solidly defines what the different skills are.
Yeah, for spacer skill, it says naval base.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is, I guess, weird, because if your engineering... it's probably where your engineering skill comes from. Because, right, you can be a craftsman and a great engineer, too.
Right, I guess the thinking is that, you know, the Navy would be the authority granting, you know, engine qualification certification or something. I don't know. It seems like
well, because
an A-class starport might work, but...
Yeah, because the skills aren't really tied to careers, so I just assume it's where you got the skill. Is kind of like your skill is flavored by where you got it from, and those are the people who would certify you.
There's no naval base for over Darrian, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Did you get qualified as a chef?
Yeah, I got qualified as a chef.
Okay.
I'm experienced, not master.
I guess getting qualified as a pilot's off the table for you too.
Yeah, it's another spacer skill.
Well, did you get any of that from Scout? Because you, well, there's no Scout base here, so never mind.
Right. Yeah, I mean, any of the spacer stuff is
We could try to set up. I'm interested in doing stuff for trader and broker, maybe, or streetwise. Maybe we could set up 2 tests for that. Because I know you're also good at those skills.
Well, technically, because I got my piloting, I started out piloting in a trade school, so technically I could go to a labor hall and get certified.
It's true.
Piloting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you want, do you want to get certified for your piloting? There's all kinds of educational facilities on Darrian.
Maybe. Also considering whether it's might be worth going for the master level chef training.
I think the pilot or engineer would be good because that's gonna be your main thing for the ship. So, like, when we try to sell ourselves to potential job givers.
Sure. Yeah, I'll set up a certification test for pilots around our current appointments. I do want to set it up so that I will have the time to cram.
I think we have 4 days left.
Well, I mean, just, I want to make sure I've built in time to prepare for the test.
You could do that easily, yeah. Especially with the 5-day window, you have plenty of time to cram that. Especially at such a high xenophilic world, so. What would you like to crack at first?
How do you mean?
What certification would you like to try to do first? Because we can get that. We can do those roles now.
Sure. Let's do pilot.
Pilot. To what level?
What am I going to be rolling? Like, at least experienced. I'm toying with master, but that may be a bit of a stretch.
At master, at experience, you'd be using intelligence. At master, you'd be doing education or training. You wouldn't be able to do instinct because they can't really train in instinct here.
Right. No,
but it is a labor hall, so you'd think training maybe.
Yeah, that's fine. If it was dexterity, I would be in a worse situation because I'd have to roll an additional die.
Yeah, the funny thing is dexterity would be for qualified and competent. After that, it goes into theory.
Okay, so yeah, I'll go for, why not? I'll take a shot at a master.
Okay, so you're going to cram first?
Rating, yes.
So you owe me, for the cram, you owe me 3D lesser than your characteristic plus skill. So your training plus your skill.
Okay, training is 10.
And you have and you can cram here because, yeah, you're in a place that has the materials you need.
Okay, so that's looking for a target roll of 15 on 3 dice. Yes.
So you now have a good flex mod on your cert test.
What flex did you get?
What do I roll for good flux?
You roll 2d6 and take the lesser number away from the larger number.
Okay.
Plus 5.
Okay. And that affects my target number, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get a better flex than that, so I wouldn't back out.
Yeah, so that's going to be a target number of 20
on 5d.
On 5 dice.
Yeah, you got a pretty good chance.
And my pilot score is 5 with my life pursuit bonus, so no, this is hard. Yay.
Extraordinary success.
Whoa.
You are after a quick flash forward when Tarbin does his test. There's a bit where they put you through a simulation where you're flying through a thing, and you're flying around in this simulator, a starship, and you are the lead pilot of it. And then they put you in this weird scenario where you're you're being pulled into a sun, and you have to calculate. You can't get the ship to escape, but you can try to fly out one of the escape pods. So you'd have to race to that. You get to it, and then when you do the test, the escape pods, you do it over and over, because each time the escape pod just doesn't have enough. No matter how you slingshot it, no matter how you pull it, it doesn't work. Until eventually it occurs to Tarbin. He points out to them that type of star doesn't have that gravitational pull, ergo the test is flawed. And they're like, wait, what? It's like, the test is wrong. That type of star doesn't have that kind of pull. I know, I've been in this kind of scenario before. It's like, really? And they check it over. Oh, shoot. So well, you still have to do the test. Like, well, doing the test with the proper calculations, easy. It's like, well, now that you've done it like a bunch of times, it's like, okay, well, there. Once you have the proper sun, no wonder my calculations were wrong. Basically, it was impossible the way they had it originally set up. So, for one, they gift you 500 credits just for helping them out. And you have, not only are you considered a master pilot, you're a master pilot with Star Cluster, which indicates that you were top of your class in the testing. Because not only you were the only one in the master's class who really clued in that it was that the test was flawed, which helped all some masters had to come back like tomorrow to do the test again. It's like, sorry, you didn't fail, we screwed up. And
nice.
Your social standing goes up by 1. As you become rather famous among the various pilots who were taking tests at that place. Like, who was it who did that? Oh, it's this Ursine, this Imperial Ursine, Tarbin Arctos? Oh, I'll have to remember that name.
Nice. How cool. This is how the GM's going to break us, though. He's going to keep raising our social status level until we can't afford our bills.
I'll note that your social standing is, you don't have a noble title with it. It's just how esteemed you are now.
You'd think with 3 land grants, even though it's out in the core war, that somebody give me a title, but I see how it is.
No, that's the thing. You can go be emperor of your own little pocket empire.
Like, hey, if you want to go out there and start building buildings and say, for the Imperium, we'll give you a title, sure. You just have to go out there and build it.
You don't even need them to give you a title. You just go out there, build buildings, and you give yourself a title. That's how being the first noble works.
It's true. Until some pocket empires become a thing.
That's true.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of backslapping and thanks and good jobs and very frustrating. And then some poor programmer gets yelled at for screwing up the test. It's like, we just failed like over 100 people today because of your stupid test. It took a non-Darrian and Imperial to come here and tell us that we had it wrong.
Yeah, I've been on a planet with this kind of sun on the Corward expeditions, and this is wrong.
That's what the gravitational pull of a blue dwarf would be. That you're wrong. What? I can tell you it's wrong. I know it's wrong. Any certification for Sir Calcium?
Let me think. I
think it's my first extraordinary success that I had to deal with.
Yeah, I think so.
If a I might try, because... So does your life pursuit affect when this is hard kicks in?
No, because it affects your this is hard checks against how many ranks you have in the skill plus jackable trades.
Okay, then I can't do the master on on anything, because
Then it turns into 6.
yeah.
I mean, you could. You might get triple ones and still pass anyway.
Well, I'd have to, because even if I got as lucky on Flux, I would have much worse chances than Tarbin had. I'll go for experienced. Trader or broker? Probably broker first, because trader is still only a hobby, because I need to level up trader before I'd be able to make it an actual life pursuit. So I think an experienced brokerage test.
Education plus broker.
Oh, int is not an option?
Not at experience level.
Oh. It has to be master.
It doesn't have to be master. Experience or master, it would be, yeah, I go into theory. I use the qualified or competent as the normal role, and then experience, I use a weird... Here's a weird situation you have to account for.
Oh, what I meant was, is int an option on any of them?
Competent or qualified.
And that's the same for trader?
Yep.
Yep. Calcian is, well, he's intelligent, but he's poorly educated, so there's nothing that does... Even being a good broker, a good trader, makes that practically impossible, so...
Get cert for competent. Because once you have a certification of any kind, it's easy. It's one of those things you can say to an NPC, hey, without a roll, you don't have to roll to prove it. It's like, no, here's the certification. I'm certified at a blank. Rather than, I'm pretty good at piloting. It's like, okay, that's nice. Are you certified anywhere? No? Then you have to convince me that you're not lying. It's like, no, I'm certified by somebody. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just debating whether it was worth it. I mean, it's not... I don't get harmed by having it, so I might as well. You're right. It's just I imagine the kind when we're about the people that would hire us very soon. They're going to be hiring us, not only us, but they're going to be hiring the ship. And I'd imagine they're when we're talking about doing trades and brokerages in hundreds of tons. Competent is not what they're looking for anymore.
It is, because they if you don't have at least qualified, then they have no reason to trust you. It's like, I'm qualified, but I'm training to get better. It's like, oh, okay. If you're not certified at all, it's like, why should I trust you? You're not a certified broker. You just say you're good at brokering. But yeah, if you're going, it depends, and it might change how much. The higher the cert, the more easy it is to sell someone on it. Like who maybe, if someone's like, say for example, someone's like, oh, I want to fly to this place. A master pilot, for example, will tell them, hey, no, I can do this super... It depends how difficult it is, I guess is more their concern. If it's very difficult or strange or alien, then they care about higher certs. But brokering a lot of stuff on a starship, as long as you're qualified or competent, that saves you a lot of social back and forth of them just believing that you're good at it. But better is better. Like if you want to trade in like ancient stuff or like protected stuff, then they want experienced or master, because now you're dealing with stuff that's way outside of the wheelhouse of your average Darrian broker or trader. Because you're also accounting for brokering in civilizations that you've never encountered before.
Because going for competent will actually be pretty easy. Is there any ability to do more tests if I don't cram? Like, is there any would there be any benefit to not cramming?
Given the amount of time you guys have, and if you're going for competent, I'd let you do another test. I'd let you do 2 competent tests or a competent and qualified test.
Then I'll do that because when I can do intelligence, it's but not only can I do intelligence, but it's intelligence on 3D. It's still technically possible to fail, but it's unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
So cramming is not as worth it. In fact, if I can beat the cram, right, that is the same task as beating the actual test. So that looks like a success on a broker's test for competent.
Okay.
And same as a trader.
Yeah, and Tarvin's just going to wait on trying to up his chef. Even with a maximum good flux, it's with his scores, it's still 6 dice and only like 36% chance.
Yeah.
So next time we come to a starport, though, I'll probably, a naval base, I'll probably go for the engineer.
The one thing I will say, well, I'll say more than one thing, but after your qualification, I imagine Sir Calcium maybe during his palling around, probably ask questions like, hey, where's a good place to get some certifications that, are reputable, that sort of thing. I imagine at some point that may have come up as a topic of, hey, it's hard to do those tests. They wouldn't have any ideas. Maybe not quite so pointedly, but someone would mention that if you go into the is it the Aslan or is it the other guys? Hold on. Well, okay. The short story is that it's. That's what I was checking out. I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tarbin, I believe education is doubled if you go the other way. If you're going education to training or instinct. Forget if that's the case.
It's halved both ways.
What's halved both ways?
If you're doing training, but it's an education role, it's halved. If you're doing education, but it's a training role, it's also halved.
That's the one that's screwed no matter what way you do it. Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's only on the physical ones that it kind of flops back and forth. I would double check that. I don't have 100% confidence.
Yeah, so if I'm doing anything that requires education rather than training, my stat score goes down by half. But anything training, I do get.
Oh, the chart is on page 48.
48.
Yeah, if C5 is education, you use half training. If C5 is training, you use half education.
And if it's instinct, it's just 4.
Yeah.
Is 4 better for you somehow? No.
In fact, it's never doubled. Not even the strength or dexterities or anything are doubled.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're moving outside of if the task roll is a vigor roll, which I can do that. I can, like, this is a vigor test to move especially quickly. Then it's like, okay, well, it's half my endurance then, or half my stamina.
Yeah, because they're measuring different things. It's not like vigor is better endurance. It's vigor is great over short distances, endurance is medium, and stamina is really long distances.
Yep. Whereas I could see training coming into it for the pilot and things like, well, education or training. It's like, well, training kicks in. Like, it's something they would test for.
Well, particularly since
they're different types of pilots,
yeah. Yeah, particularly since I learned to pilot in a trade school.
I guess the only thing people would say then is if you ever thought about taking a wafer jack implant. You only need to get certified for once, and once you've done it, you're certified.
Certified in what?
Well, whatever it is the wafer jack's set to. Just, don't tell them you have it, that's all. Because wafer jacks can give you temporary skills for a while. You just go a little bit insane.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, like engineering, when you're going like master's level, you're using intelligence. It just depends on what you're doing.
Well, no, what I'm saying is if you get a wafer jack, you make the other side of the equation better. It's like, forget my intelligence. My engineering's now stupid high. It's like, okay.
Yep.
Enjoy your wafer jack insanity.
Right.
Well, insanity. You might not go insane right away. But you don't even know what your sanity score is.
But I know that it's at least one less.
That's true, yeah. But that's the thing Sir Calcian could look into if you're trying to find a way to force it.
No, it's that's like not even close to worth it. because the value in the broker trader rate, we might get better help from NPCs, but also I already have over a mega credit, so if no one else is willing to give me jobs, I can already afford to completely fill up the cargo hold of the ship. I don't need someone else's help.
Yeah.
The master, I see the value in the master level, but if I could get it, but he's not educated enough. He's at such a disadvantage that you would have to go to extreme links like a wafer jack, which are extreme links.
And then if you ever get a job on that certification, I hear you're a master guy. Okay, you need to do an education plus broker. No, I actually can't do that role. You do have the wafer jack. No.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're willing to spend super amounts of money and get the best kind of wafer jack, you're still running into a problem because while you do it, your personality's overwritten. All your other skills are now worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that it's weird. It's one of those things like the book's like, hey, you can do this, but let me tell you all the reasons it's unappealing and then not give you any reasons why it is appealing.
For the hell of it.
Yeah, sure. If I was a desk clerk who might get a 10% raise at a really terrible SUSAG job, give me the wafer jack. I might work my way up the corporate ladder, but I'm not as desperate.
Some black corp companies would require you to use a wafer jack. Oh, don't worry, we'll sponsor the wafer jack. Oh, that's so nice of you. No, it isn't. You know what turnaround here is? What's that? The morgue.
Yeah, I'm not so desperate.
Tarvin's just happy to be very employable.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of worried that Tarvin might ask for more money when he becomes part of the crew.
Well, I am going to be a shareholder, so
better get it.
Better get more than just a pilot's rate. Granted, small shareholder.
Well, yeah,
still.
you would get the benefit of being a shareholder and the benefit of being a pilot. Now you get the benefit of being a master qualified star cluster pilot and a shareholder. I think as far as the amount of money you'd earn from serving on the ship, you as a pilot have become more valuable than you as a shareholder.
Actually, point of fact, you might want to know where you got that cert from. So it's because the fact that you got it from Darrian probably will hold some weight.
Okay.
Like, where'd you test? Oh, some backward place. I did some crop dusters, but I got certified. Like, I mean, you did, but like, who cares? It's a cert. It still counts legally. It does. Where'd you get certified? Oh, one of the most advanced places in the galaxy. Oh.
On the other hand, you might meet like master qualified from level 10 planets who are like, the computers did it all for him. Like,
Yeah.
it's not real flying.
I hand flew. Okay, fine. You calculate and accept escape velocity with freaking maneuver drive while in a plummet. And you have less than an hour. No? Then shut up.
Okay. The only other thing Tarvin's going to do with the downtime is start downloading whatever archaeological papers and publications dealing with ancient artifacts similar to, or stories about ancient artifacts similar to the thing we are dealing with, just to try and learn some more about it. Go through my back issues of Imperial Archaeology Society Today magazine or whatever.
Are you just looking up what's on the tablet, or are you trying to go to a university to get like a public library? Like how deep into the... How hard to get is this book you're trying to get? Or are you just getting just publications, whatever's put out on the freebie stuff?
Not necessarily the freebie stuff. I mean, I'm looking for, reputable, for in part reputable academic, like archaeological papers on these kind of artifacts. I don't think Darrian is necessarily I mean, I can look for some more kind of, rumors and unverified reports kind of thing in among that, but I think I'd be better off finding that kind of stuff at a place with a scout base on it. But yeah, I would be accessing some university databases and all that kind of stuff if possible.
Okay, give me... You'll find something, but... You have time, so I'll knock off a die, because you can be cautious. You have days to look this up. And you're looking for stuff that's similar.
Yeah.
I will make this, at present, a 4D education plus skill you probably don't have. Scout service would help, actually, if you have it. Do you have archaeology?
Yeah.
Oh, hell, you can use archaeology, yep. Oh, right, you were a scout. Duh, that's why you have that. Yep. I was worried I was giving you a stupid role you couldn't make. I'm like,
So could I argue for intelligence over education?
You're trying to find out which, facility here has the papers you're looking for, rather than discerning what the paper itself is saying. There'll be intelligence roll later if you get this one.
Yeah, well, since this is going to be a roll of 8 on 4 dice, it's probably not going to happen. Ugh. So... And actually, it has to be on 5 dice, because...
Oh, this is hard kicks in?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'm not. No.
Yahtzee? Not straight. Yeah.
I don't know. Shits and giggles. And I'll also get my luck down to 1d6. I'll see if I can do 7 or less on luck. I'll be damned. So
on pure luck, you look through the documents, and there are so many scholars. And so some of them are Darrian Confederation. Then there's education facilities here in Darrian. Then there's the publications you hear about elsewhere in the Confederation and in the Imperium and the Shodani. And you're a smart bear, but it's hard to figure out who has. I mean, unless you're spending hours and hours and if not days of research, maybe you figure out who's in the right ballpark. Because ancient tech is one of the holy grails of the known galaxy. But by sheer luck, you don't find a book, you find a name of somebody who might be of help to you. A person who is known for their assisting travelers in their pursuit of ancient technology. I wonder what kind of person they are. Oh. Hell. Alright then. Alright then. Random roll be random roll. Oh, not words, names. You see that one name has popped up, and that keeps popping up across a lot of the more recent publications. And the name rings a bell, a Villani by the name of Quishu. And then Quishu is kind of it's a Villani name. You've heard it a couple times back in the Imperium. And then it's Lieutenant Quishu of the Imperial Navy. And you actually remember serving with the guy. You know him, you worked with him, but you were never directly under him, but you knew who he is. You recognize the name. You actually know he's in the Linian subsector. He's actually serving there, you think, with his own on a ship there. But all these publications seem to point that if anyone knows, he probably would know, because he seems to be he's been part of. He was a scout himself before joining the Navy, and he's become an expert on ancient, and consulted a lot on ancient during technologies, especially the more exotic finds in recent memory. Yeah. Do you two meet up with your shipyard person?
yeah.
Yep.
You come into the presence of a Darrian ship worker, shipwright, who is seated at a nice little comfy couch looking out into this holographic Tritio display of a rather calm and placid beach. Because not all conference rooms have to be in front of round tables.
Hmm.
Um,
Shoo.
I introduce myself. I'm, as you know, Sir Langhoff, and this is my associate Tarvin Arctos.
A pleasure.
And I wait for them to introduce themselves.
I am Zago Zippin, the finest shipwright you ever have the pleasure to meet, sir.
I hope so. We've heard good things about your shipyard. Perhaps a portfolio of your recent work would be nice.
He brings up he swipes his hand out, and you see various displays of adventure class ships of various sizes. He seems to favor working on larger ships, and that seems to be like yours, rather than tinier like scout craft or single seater type deals. He's also had the pleasure of working on a battle cruiser for the Navy. One of many shipwrights. There was like 2 or 3 of them that were
Like
working on
like an adventure class battle cruiser, or like a
war class.
okay, like 100,000 ton
Yeah.
something. Okay.
At that point, he needed a team of people to do it. It's like, no, we don't have just one of you work on this. And so, I hope you are satisfied with my credentials, yes? No? Perhaps so? Or are you stunned by the beauty of my work?
Everything appears to be in order.
That is good. That is good.
Your portfolio looks promising.
Promising? Oh, I see. Alright then. Well, Sir Langhoff, what is it you are proposing to build that requires somewhat of my master level skills and craftsmanship?
Let me see your certification. You called yourself a master.
Well, to start, we're considering an 1,100 ton hull
Very good.
airframe. There's the current line of thought that everything should be made a lifting body, but I say no.
What is your opposition to lifting bodies?
Lifting bodies are great until someone decides to poke a hole in the hull, and then all you've got is a shell, an armored shell, an airframe hull with charged plate. No one even wants to get close.
And to what tech level are you hoping for this to be made? I assume to a proper Darrian standard rather than a...
Yes.
Very good.
We have everything on this ship is to be built Darrian. There's no imported parts.
Not even the furniture? Okay. I think you want to import a little bit for the some sofas that are not Darrian sizes.
Yes, we will need to import a few things here and use some Ursign-friendly designs.
I think we would hope that you can manufacture to the specifications, because importing anything Ursign would take a year.
Oh,
right?
No. You could just buy from the merchants on the planet. Everything that is anything is on Darrian.
Calzine is surprised that there's an Ursine furniture dealer this far away. He must have like 2 customers a year.
But they're high-paying
probably-
ones.
Probably a small group of Ursine living there.
He's artisanal,
it's-
you see.
He just sells them to his friends, who are the entire Ursine population of Darrian.
Yes, we're a very cosmopolitan species. You can find us everywhere.
It's more that they cater to Aslan, and Aslan furniture caters to Ursine. Yeah. More, they're the same. They're closer together than, say, humanity is, than they are to humanity.
But yes, this ship needs to be of the highest level of comfort, so no expense should be spared when considering everyone's dimensions.
Do you have a proposal document, or that you're hoping that I can examine?
Guess this is where I ask the GM. Obviously, the player has this ship completely designed, but I don't know if Calcian. There's not really a skill that covers this.
What would happen is that your character would say a few things that he would like, and back and forth between your character and him, between you two and him. He would help hammer out basically what you guys have been doing for the last few weeks. He's helping hammer out and explain, here's how this works, here's this work, you should do that, not that. No, that's not how that works. Actually, you should reconsider that. How many ship shares do you have? It's like that, okay. Da, 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 da. So you spent a good chunk of time talking to this guy and him explaining and showing you on charts how it works. Not without getting into the actual science of it. He's like, no, that's my problem. I'm explaining to you, the buyer, what you're paying for. So you understand why you have that. Like, you want a lifting body? Oh, yada yada. Like, he asks questions like, why do you want that? Okay, here's the options we can do. You want a jump drive? Here's the options we can do. What about hop drives? Well, that's a thing we can do, but I'm not sure you want to do that. Da, 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 da.
I got hop and skipped confused. I was about to say, I don't think you can, sir.
Well, you
But
find
no,
an
they
ancient
can do hops.
find an ancient ruin somewhere. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah, there's this dude on the promenade. He's selling hop drives. Let's just stick one in your shit.
He's been
See how
murdered
well it
since
goes.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Can we have a stealth coating on the
I think
cutter instead of a slick coating?
on the cutter.
Yeah, on the 50-ton cutter. It seems like that might be something where it might be handy to be sneaky.
Is stealth an option versus slick?
I mean, it's an
We have a
option.
I have a stealth mask. It's just not connected to a console unless you need it. Because we simply can't put the number of required consoles on the cutter. I think I already have what you're asking for. It's just like you have to prepare before the mission to set it up.
Hold on. Scroll. No, it's like an. Oh, the mask. You're right. It is a sensor. I was thinking it was a coating. Never
No.
mind.
Yeah. So we have
Okay.
have a stealth mask on the cutter. It's just like
Just gotta plug it in.
you got to plug it in before you leave, and you need this ship is. It has to be piloted very carefully. It's not like the Gazer where anyone who can just click enter on a console and run the ship. You actually need to be somewhat skilled to use the cutter.
So, like someone like a master pilot with star clusters.
Yes,
So-
someone like that.
For those watching this afterward, listening to this afterward, in short, what is it you're building?
Oh,
Like,
in
I
short,
know, but
you might want something like its mission modifiers. This is going to be the Void Gazer. Its first mission is private exploration data collection, making it a beagle. Its second mission is a commerce merchant that's unscheduled and carries cargo primarily, making it a trader. And its third mission is naval combat as an offensive principal ship, making it a cruiser. It is faster than most ships of its class, because most ships of its class are still built at Tech 14 and 15. So we are faster than them in maneuver. We are not the fastest. There are faster ships, but there are very few of them. so we're fast. We're armored because we went with airframe, so charged plate. We have. There's only one ship in the book, as an example, that is similar to ours, and we are more armored than it, and it is a naval warship. And we're battle because we are upgunned. As opposed to, I think you would take the modifier gunned if you normally don't have guns and you do add guns, but we're battle because we normally would have guns, but we have bigger ones because we have the most powerful non-missile weapon you can have, and that's a splinal meson gun. So we are a fast armored battle beagle trader cruiser. But I think we don't do all those missions at once. So our primary mission profile is as a fast armored battle beagle.
Yeah. You just do trader and cruiser if you can't get a beagle job, basically.
Yeah, the cruisers. Yeah, that's definitely our tertiary. The beagle and trader we can do at the same time, but beagle definitely takes precedence because this ship has sensors closer to what you'd expect from like a Starfleet game than like a Star Wars or like a common sci-fi game.
Yeah.
And with getting built on Darrian with their level of technology, it has some of the most advanced computer systems available.
Two of the most advanced mainframes in like human space.
Yes. In actually known space. I don't think there are too many over 16 or over places in known space.
Once you start breaking 16, you start having to talk about ancient Darrian technology or pocket empires that are super advanced.
It is why we have spent so long getting to Darrian, because it's the one place with that technology level.
It's the one place that I think there's one more that's like an official planet, not like someone's homebrew, but it's on the other exact opposite side of the Empire, and it's a red system. So I don't think we want their computers, because I'm pretty sure it's their computers that made it a red system.
So, I mean, based on this frame, this is quite the build you were asking of me. It's something I can do. I mean, we have all the materials we need. We have all the... And from what you tell me, you have the relevant shareholders that are all agreeing on that can...
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, I can start sourcing materials. It starts on the building. Start on the sourcing of it before I actually start putting things together. And then I need everyone to submit their shares into taps on his pad to this account. And he waves and it goes to your pad so you can see it. Send the shares to that account. I'll have my signature and such and such. Once all the signatures are in and the shares are traded in, the building begins. And the only concern that I have that would caution you, and perhaps Sir Langoff, you may wish to pay a visit to the palace and inform them that you are coming into the ownership of a battleship of some kind, a cruiser. In the event of warfare.
Yes, I do imagine that such considerations will have to be made in case there's a war, although I don't think it will be too large of an issue, because if such a thing does happen, this would obviously fall under the command of my count, not the Darrian Navy at large, I would think.
Well, I mean, the Count would submit his knight with the brilliant Void Gazer to the battlefields of space, winning glory and acclaim for the Confederation and all such.
Yes, that's exactly how space battles go. The bear mutters under his breath.
Yes, so you have some preliminaries to take care of. We also have an appointment after this. We have to incorporate and sign our shares over to a corporation, which will be doing further, which will give you the ship shares. We won't be
Right.
giving them to you as individuals.
That is wise.
Calcian remembers and thinks in his head that I gotta make an appointment for that with a lawyer after this. But it sounded like he had stuff to do before he even needed the shares, so we'll try to. I'm gonna make a mental note that I need to get us incorporated in the next few days.
So, this enterprise will take some time to build, given the parts and specifications that we've agreed on and hammered together. And I will be honest with you, sir. It is, without the assent of the governing bodies and nobility of the Federation, this may take me 4 years to make something to match the quality and demands that this would require. We are dealing with the most ultimate and cutting edge of technology. And to give you less than that, to source the wrong AI could spell doom for you and doom for my reputation. But if you were to get the assent of your count or someone at the palace, then we can have a commission signed, and suddenly we now have all the building and workforce regards of the Confederation. You can give me, when he says that, intelligence plus broker 3 dice. There's something that may occur to Lang off the minute he says that. Because Zugo is not a broker or a trader. He's a shipwright.
That's a success.
You realize one way to make this into a thing that will take months is a mega credit. Because apparently that would be the way he could grease all the gears he'd need, without having to consult with anyone in the higher nobility.
He wants me to give him a mega credit for bribes.
He doesn't. You know that's what would happen. He thinks the only option is, you have to talk to someone down there. Otherwise, he'll take his time and do it within 4 years, and he'll make the best mastercraft starship you've ever seen, one of the most advanced things in the galaxy. He's like, but one way to go faster is to get various nobles. But there's ways around that.
Yeah, it's an idea, but Calcian can't commit to that because if I did, I guess.
Well, I don't think it's something you have to necessarily decide right now. I mean, it can be, okay, we try to do all the appropriate permits and everything, and that's just really not working out. Well, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Unless, without knowing exactly like how this would be handled, like, are we gonna just take 4 years downtime to make more money? Because I could give the mega credit if we don't get the permits, but then we basically are on the clock to start making over 500,000 credits in the remaining 6 months of the year, 8 months of the year, just to maintain the ship without talking about profit, because I will no longer have the capital to trade. The kind of a key component of making this ship profitable without derailing us is that I have the money to trade to make money along our journeys.
Right.
So Calcian simply does not have the amount of money that it would take both to get this done now and to make it last. So
I'll let
if
you
if that
I'll let you percolate on that because we're gonna take our mid-roll break. So
Okay.
stretch your legs, have a chat, and I'll refresh my coffee. So we'll be back in a few minutes, everybody. Well, that was a surprise for them. But hopefully, all will go well shortly once we get back with them. Because I'm back. Let's see if they are.
Think that it's something
Hello.
directly related to their stuff.
I have returned.
I just assumed that it was a noxious gas trying to kill you, so I don't actually know.
What?
The suitcase, I thought the smell coming out was pretty dangerous. As a player, like I thought it was gonna kill. It was gonna start killing us if I didn't shut it.
I was just querying like the thing that I was curious if they had gotten sense to, if like, okay, it smelled like it would revolutionize food and food preparation and storage to me because I'm interested in chef things, but it might have, you know, Calvir might have thought it was some sort of, revolutionary biological, protein builder or something, something like, depending on who smelled it and what their interests were, they would think it would lead to that direction. So I was just talking out of curiosity. Yeah, I think we try the government certification route, one way or the other. Let's see how this meeting with Deck Null goes, and then we can kind of go from there.
If it's any consolation as well with the well, I'm not sure how much would help with the mega credit thing. I would let you use broker to try to shave off the price somehow.
We can come up with the money, and I think Tarbin might even able to shave it down a little too.
Yeah.
It's just
It's a lot of money to put down that you were going to have as your fluid money.
Right.
I actually did the math when I was building the ship. I did it for the 350-ton ship, and it was like over a mega credit. I think this ship is going to be somewhere a little less than a mega credit to fill its hold. But
yeah, I mean, if we have to, it's doable, but we think there might be other options.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and that's why this guy, when you made the rule, you got a shipwright who knows, like, hey, I know that the thing that you want me to build is difficult and it would take a long time, but I know the official way to make it go faster. Because he's worked on projects like that, and his reputation won't hold you back. Like, as long as you get the proper authorizations or backing or commission, then he's like, oh well, hell, I can start asking all the people I know to help me.
I do have another thing. I don't know if this would be the right place to apply it, but as a Corsair, I, in finger quotes, acquired a bearer proxy for the moot. And I assume that's either a bearer proxy to the moot in... I assume it's to one in the Sword Worlds. So, maybe we could turn that into the money we would need to make the ship go faster if the official permit route doesn't go.
Yeah, because you can sell a proxy. It's worth what is it? Yeah, you could shave it down. Proxy vote's worth you can flat sell a proxy, or you would sell the use of it for a certain period of time. Which, like, you don't have access to it, but you're selling the use of the proxy to somebody else, and then it goes back to you.
See, and I don't even think it's like I don't think it's a long-term proxy agreement. I think I have like a signed paper that's like a one-use thing, is what I had thought. If it's multiple use, that's amazing.
Oh, it's multiple use, yeah.
Because it's not.
Because you probably bought
something. It's not something I got from a muster out reward. It's a thing I got from the career life path thing at the end.
Oh, it's one of the extra things. Ooh.
Yeah, it's like it's just like a thing you get for being a Corsair. It's one of the things you could roll. Which is why I don't know its actual value.
That's what
if it's anything other than like, oh, look at this little nice thing I got framed on my desk, or if it's like hey, I could sell this to someone and they could, if for an important vote, and it works one time. I don't know what its value is. I just saw it and was like, maybe it has value. And maybe we could use that in this instance.
Corsair, you say?
Yep. It's acquired a bearer proxy for the moot. It kind of assumes you're Imperial. I don't even know if the other polities have.
There'd be something similar. We would translate it into something else. Well, wait a minute. If you got actually, now I'm confused. What do you mean Corsair? That's not a career path.
No, Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue, and then you pulled from Noble's free stuff. Okay. Or did you?
Oh. Is it that I pulled from?
Well, because rogues pull their important events and stuff from somewhere else, don't they? Oh no, you're wrong. I'm wrong.
You're right. That's for like, that is for.
Oh, that's a rogue's randomly acquired item.
Events.
Oh.
It's a randomly acquired item.
Oh God. Okay. Well.
Yeah, it's kind of like my knowledge of where an ancient base is.
Because I have two things. The other thing I have is a face of an image from a pirate from Quirion. I don't think that's nearly as useful. Like I just have a little hologram of this pirate from a couple sectors over.
Yeah, so you would need to, so that is a proxy with the value of a proxy vote. It's just that it's not something you'll have to be careful how you sell it because you don't have it through legitimate means. You somehow got the bearer proxy from somebody. And now some noble is short a vote, and they don't know where it is, who has the bearer for it, and you at some moment could go, "Hey, I have it," and you could screw a vote on like in the Sword Worlds.
All right, and I think proxy's worth a mega credit a vote, but I wouldn't even want to sell. I wouldn't even want to use it that way. What I think I'd want to do is...
Well, a proxy's worth 100k per vote.
Yes, it was 100,000.
Yeah.
I might have misspoke.
You said mega credit. I was like, whoa, what?
Oh, no. That's weird. That's something weird going on. Because I was looking exactly at the land grants page. All our talking in mega credits has got me mixed up. But I don't
Not
even
real
think...
money until we start talking about resource units.
Yeah, I don't even think I would want to like try to sell it once or twice. I think you'd want to try to sell the whole proxy, the whole thing, to someone who can actually use it as a normal proxy, right?
Yeah, you'd probably want to, as a rogue who has it, you'd probably want to find somebody, or former rogue, you'd want to find somebody who's willing to pay you a lump sum and go, give me this much for it, and it's yours. Or give me because you wouldn't want it to be a installment, because basically you've grifted somebody of their legal proxy.
Do I think, because this seems to me like a legitimate way to maybe fund this ship faster. Do I think I might be able to make money or get shot if I tried to send a letter to the hero captain being like, "Hey, I can give you some power within your government"?
Depends how that conversation goes.
I will think about sending her a letter that says, "I can give you some real power for some money." But for that'll I'm only gonna cross that bridge. I'd rather not cross that bridge at all. So let's get incorporated and go try to do this the legal way.
Yep. Yeah, you have contact information for the shipwright Zugo Zupin, and he'll start getting he'll just get the groundwork going. So as of this date, he's already working on it. So as of 2/12, 2/13, he's working on it, and because that's the other thing, your standing's high enough that he's willing to go. No, I don't think you're scamming me. I think you have you're a TS member, you're a noble. I know you're going to pay me on this, so... And if not, I'm at the gathering stage. I'm at the sourcing stage anyway. So I can always just pump the brakes on this or find someone else to work on this stuff. But for now, he's happy to work with you.
Yeah, then... I mean, I think our first step, regardless of how we get this ship built in a reasonable amount of time, our first step should be, let's go incorporate as a legal Darrian corporation so that we can get all these shares to him.
Okay.
So are you going to hire someone for that? Or are you going to try to...
We'll have to hire someone, I think.
This is an advocacy role otherwise.
And our advocate is not here.
Well, I guess... What is the role?
It would be... Well, I guess the question would be... a couple of things for me. It's an advocate role for sure. It would be intelligence advocate. My brain wants to tell me. I'll take a quick look at advocate. That seems like a good guideline. So I don't think it's an education thing. It's figuring it out. Because you're not doing theoretics. It's like, no. I'm doing
I'm actually
regular-
doing the task.
I'm doing the task in situ. Oh no. They suggest. Well, that's for negotiating a contract between two parties. Legal arguments, legal advice documents. Yeah. So, I would say education or intelligence. I'll let you choose either because I can see both ways it going. I imagine it's intelligence. Well,
I guess I'm sure what you need to know is going to change the number of dice, but if it's only what you an average task, then I can fail without boxcars.
It's at least
I can.
So if you, I guess the question for a corporation, I suppose, is how big are you framing this? Are you just making this like a corporate? Is it just like a ship charter that you're assembling? Or are you trying to build like a corporation, a mega corporation? How big of a document are you trying to frame here?
Basically, the goal is to make the ship owned by the company, right? Have a formal structure where people can't just say, "Oh, I'm selling off my part of the ship," or "I'm noping out of here," without giving the company a chance to buy first. Just like legal protections, so that not only do we have protection from...
Ooh, I'll cut it the other way then, actually. Base die would be 3, but you could increase the die, because the thing is, what just occurred to me, because if you were doing an advocacy roll, you'd be rolling to... they would have to oppose this number. Well, no, that's not how that makes sense. It's whoever does better of the two. So if you set the die to be... I would say if you set the die to 3, then if someone wanted to break the deal, they'd have to do better than you.
Okay, then in that case, I want to retain a really well-accredited Darrian firm. Like, not only, hey, write this agreement for us, but for, I don't know, some number of credits a year, you handle all our Darrian legal woes.
You're basically hiring. So I would say... Oh, I'm going about this the other way. Up. Oh, too far. Other way. So for... yeah, we'll do it that way. We'll make it a... if you want to hire or retain a master level advocate, it would be 100,000 a year, and that would in turn, if someone wanted to back out of it or fight it, they'd have to achieve a staggering or 5 die task roll to have any chance of beating them. So 100,000 for master, 10,000 for experienced, 1,000 for a competent, and 100 for a qualified.
So, what would
So
it cost to retain a master arbiter to represent the minority shareholders in the negotiation of this contract?
Yeah, I do want to reframe. The whole purpose is not just to the whole reason to do this incorporation is not to lock everybody into it where they can't back out. It's just so that someone can't take their portion of the ship and give it to the big bad guy to screw us over. Right. It's and it's also like we got to hire employees and we got to pay employees. It's not. I definitely am not going into this trying to screw any of the other shareholders out. Like, and I'll go full transparency. It's only to protect the $500 million ship and the shareholders. In fact, if anything, it's kind of going to be, I imagine, a hostile contract for employees, right? We pay you, but we don't take any liability if you get killed when our ship blows up, kind of thing. Not like we're going to pay you nothing and you're going to do your job, just like a no liability kind of thing.
I'll put it to you this way: when you pay this advocate, you're foregoing the role because you're paying someone who you certifiably can make that level of role.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't trying to change the role. I was more trying to suppress the idea that Calcian wanted to screw Tarvin or the other shareholder out of anything. It's very much do not do anything illegal on Darrian and don't do anything bad to the other shareholders kind of vibe.
Okay.
So the master is
100,000.
And that's a retainer fee as well?
Yeah.
Not just they do this one thing?
Yeah, that's the retainer for the year. It's like, here's 100,000, look at our contract every year. It's like, okay. Or if we need you.
It's not. Yeah, I was about to say, it's any legal Darrian was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you'd only pay extra if there was extraordinary circumstances, like, hey, we need you to represent our interests in the Sword Worlds or in the Imperium. It's like, well, now you have to pay for me getting there. Like, that's
so we need to incorporate, and then we're hiring the firm to represent the corporation.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is why the master level, I feel like it's the best route, but also that takes us from needing like 550 to needing like 650,000 credits a year to break even. Which I still think we can do. It's just like
you can go lower. You don't need the best advocate in the system.
Because if it's only 10,000, right? I have a land grant that gives 20,000 a year. I could just like send half of that to him every year and not even think about it twice.
Well, I think you're going to go pretty far down the ladder if you go down to 10,000 for an annual.
It goes from 10,000 to 100,000. That's the difference between 4D and 5D, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
what I'm saying.
Lawyers charge.
But we're dealing with orders of magnitude. Issue, not. Yeah.
We're not going to get the super badass firm that we're not dealing with Wolfram and Hart. We're dealing with I don't know, Saul.
Part of it too is that this is just in the far future, as it were. This is a ship charter. This is easy street for them. They're like, yeah, we can do this. Just retain us and we can handle this. But if you're like a mega corporation, like no. You need to hire more than one of us on retainer at any given time. Why? Because we have to have lawyers in 3 different polities on multiple planets. Like, oh, it's a ship charter? Yeah, we can do that.
So, in the same way that our like land grants and proxies don't pay out till the start of next year, does this not start till the next year? We're just like we're on the hook for 100,000 at the end of the year, regardless of what we decide.
If you want him to, they would expect payment first to cover the year, but you can do a social standing roll to ask them to like, no, I'll just pay you at the 1 year from now.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not saying 1 year from now. I'm basically saying January 1st. Like, let's just do this like everybody's Q1, right? Instead of starting this now, let's start like a corporation and we'll schedule this to be yearly. But yeah, I'll make that.
Well, actually, here's the thing. If you're doing it for like there's two ways you can do it. You can have it as, hey everybody, you signed up for Traveler 5. Welcome to Legal Arguments and Incorporation. We warned you. We've had several episodes to warn you. You know this was happening.
We literally do everything.
But yeah, so you could do, if you're trying to push this to 1112, then that's a task you have to roll. If you're just saying 001 of the 1113th, the 12th year of this century, as it were, that's an easier roll because like they're not waiting as long for payment.
Yeah, basically I'm trying to make this line up with all of our in case things go bad and we don't make a lot of money, I'm trying to just tie this up with our yearly payouts of land grants and bearer votes and all of that stuff.
You could give me you can give me a social standing plus skill you believe would be most relevant and helpful, versus the dice of the person you're trying to convince to do this. So 5D if it's a master, 4D if it's an experience, because you have to sell them that it's worth their time, because you're not they have a ton of people who want to be their client. Whereas someone who's just qualified, like, hey, I just passed the bar, sure, I'll do a advocate thing. It's like, okay, well, you only cost me 100.
I'm confused how rolling off would work in this scenario.
It would be social standing plus a skill, and you're rolling 5 dice to get under. If you get it, then you've... if you're making it to... Sorry, I misspoke. It's 5D if you're trying to push it to 1 whole year from now. It's 4D if you're just pushing it to the start of 001 of next year. Rather than paying it, being asked to pay upfront, like pay my retainer now until next year.
As long as if I fail but don't critically fail, they just say no and I just start paying now, right? They don't tell me to leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you get triple sixes, they'll tell you to piss off because you had said something or did something that made them angry, and they're like, or I have a better deal already waiting, bye. It's like, oh well, damn.
Then I assume trader, knowing the value of this contract, right? They don't want to tell me to screw off. They're going to work with me a little bit because of the value of this contract.
Right. Trader or broker. And you can assist each other because you're both...
Oh my god.
Well,
so
that's unfortunate.
So...
We're going with the 10,000 guy.
Well, you know what? He's willing to deal with you if you pay up front, but you have to pay him $600,000 a year. Because how dare you, sir? How dare you imply that he deals in bribery and such? You didn't mean to say that. And fine, we'll talk to the 10,000 guy.
Can we hire 5 of the 10,000 guys? 5 different law firms.
Okay, I mean, no polity in the galaxy has just one, like, particularly a planet like this has just one high tone law firm.
Oh yeah, we go across the street to the other master level guy. Okay. Is that an option, or did they tell all their lawyer friends don't do
With
it?
triple sixes, they told all the lawyer friends you're although I will give you can shop around because because what I've been doing is rolling a single D6 to see how many hundreds of thousands. And I'll roll one more time. And because I rolled flux and I got 0, so I'm not giving you 0 because that's not fun. I'm gonna roll d6. I'll roll it in roll 20 even. I'll even roll on the table. And the guy across the street, he's heard about you. And you know what? He doesn't like you either. Yeah, it's an extraordinary failure. So the people of the various high cutting edge lawyers on the planet, at least on Darrian itself, are just, you are blackballed. You said something or did something that made them just absolutely despise the name Sir Calcian Langhoff. Like, no, this guy said this. Like, really? Are you that petty? Yes.
If someone tries to screw me over, 6 master level law firms will work against me pro bono.
Oh my god. Note to self: never let the knight lead negotiation. The bear is better, or the doctor actually.
We do not do business with criminal enterprises and schemes like Sir Calcian Langhoff. Hey, you admitted to that. Not in a recorded area. I didn't. Like, okay, screw you too. But you could hire multiple. You could hire multiple of the 10,000. Like, just have multiple lawyers on retainer. That is a way to do it.
Is there a branch of an imperial firm in this city?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. Yes. I am an imperial citizen in good standing with a 12 social skill, so let me talk to the imperial firm. We can incorporate in the empire.
That is a way to do it. Yep. 666, let's go.
So, okay. Same deal, 100,000.
As long as if right, the Darrians and the Imperials are allies, right? So there's like almost zero risk of war.
Almost zero, yeah.
Okay, I was about to say I don't want my ship seized when the war starts. But that's fine.
So a master level imperial firm retainer would also be 100,000.
Yep.
Oh, before
okay.
There
Give
might
me
be
50,000.
something that helps you even more.
What's that?
Our great standing, or your great standing with Susag, you should talk to them about the law firm they have on retainer. Maybe you can get a deal for how great you were of a help to them.
No, I mean,
You could get Susag to help sponsor your, to help with. I mean, Susag does have lawyers that they recommend and may do some letters of recommendation for.
I don't like his tone, so I take back my offer. My idea.
I don't really want to be a client of Wolfram and Hart because I've seen all of Angel. But anyway, so let's go to the Imperial firm equivalent.
Yep.
I'm sure.
So you can do 100,000 up front, or you can roll to see if you can get them to move it to 001 of next year, or try to get them to wait the full year for payment.
Give me 50,000, and I'll put 50,000 in, and we will just pay these people.
Sure. I mean, yeah. If I just more for our bookkeeping as players is the reason I wanted to do that, because otherwise we might forget or be like playing a game like in August or something, and someone like, oh yeah, we were supposed to pay 100,000 to these people.
Don't worry, I'll put it in the pins. Like, I've been keeping track. I have current date and your bills day, so I'll have another bills day pin of when you owe the company.
It was 2/1/12 when we landed, so it's what, 2/1/15 now, 13, something like that.
Be 2/13. It's 2/13 because you met the shipwright the next day.
Well, okay, yeah. 2/13, 1/1/1. Okay, that's so. I'll make a note that legal fees of. That's not dollars; it's credits.
And this Imperial firm, because, I mean, this branch is here, so they'll represent us in Darrian space without extra fees, right?
Yeah.
This may actually be a better deal if they also represent us in Imperial space.
Yeah.
The Shipishi Sashi Yoler and Ginty, or for most people who speak Anglic, for God's sake, SYG Imperial Law Firm.
Cat, get off the keyboard. Dear. You're very cute.
And with this, we would generally say that we have a favorable contract for shareholders for our ship now. Is that what we would say?
I mean, you're the ones that's here. You tell me. No, yeah.
Okay.
That amount of money, we damn well should.
And if we don't, there's no one who will represent us in town to sue this law firm.
Oh, we've paid him for a year, so after that we can probably won't even be around here. And foreshadowing, in just about 4 years, it's not even going to matter.
What do you mean the Third Imperium's over? What do you mean it's shattered?
This is why a Darrian company would a Darrian law firm would be better.
Well, yeah, it probably would have been if somebody hadn't pissed every single Darrian law firm off, where they wouldn't even deal with us for without an exorbitant amount of money.
All I said was his ears were nice and pointy this time of year.
Excuse you?
Something you say.
That's sexual harassment, sir. Get the hell out of here. I'll deal with your Zolomanic perversions. Like, what? I thought that was a compliment. I don't understand. Oh, there was this big thing in the papers. Right. It was a big scandal. Whoops. But I just called him a child molester. So he's not going to want to talk to us anymore. What? I'm not Darrian. What? Do I keep up on the news? Who does? Anyway.
You're a Darrian knight.
Of all the things that roll 666, it's like, hey, if you just fail, whatever, he'll do 100,000.
Yeah,
No.
I was like, there's almost zero consequence to this roll. Might as well just make it.
Yeah.
Like, I rolled a single d6. I rolled my red d6. I rolled on the table. I was like, that's how much extra. If I rolled a 1, he's like, he's just mad. He'll represent you for 100,000, but watch out.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll give you a re-roll because I rolled crap. I'll be nice. 6 again. Well, okay, then never mind. These people hate you for some reason.
And meanwhile, Darby's like, just write the fucking check.
Well,
I'll
let's
write the other half of it.
let's go to SYG. They won't kick us out. It's like, wait.
Before we leave the law firm, let's sign all the shares over to the company and have the shares sent off to the shipyard.
Yep. Use that escrow account.
What's the name of your company?
That would have been a great thing to figure out, but I didn't realize we were actually going to get to do this today.
Who are all the shareholders?
Langhoff, Arctos, and
And I think we just take
Trasani.
shares in the company equal to the number of ship shares we put in, right?
So who's the largest holder?
Me.
Langhoff by far.
Langhoff.
Yeah.
Who's next?
You. Yeah. I have 19, you have 3, and
Calvert has 1.
Calvier has 1. No, not Calvier, it's the Baron, isn't it?
No, it's Calvert.
Or is it Calvier?
Yep.
Okay.
It was the Void Gazer.
It's the
Yes.
Void Gazer is the ship.
Void Gazer Shipping Co. Imperial Company, because you're imperially chartered.
Woodgazer Imperial Shipping Company.
Imperial Shipping, you're right, that sounds better.
I definitely now want to come up with a good name.
LAT dash VG Imperial Shipping. That'll be the standard name for now if you want to change the name, but that'll be the...
Oh, does there happen to be a super popular Sagamore song that was like really important during the war?
Don't do it.
Okay. I won't.
What?
I was gonna name the company basically is an insult to the Sword World.
Yeah, when we know that we're being drugged at some point back to the Lunian sector, forcing us to travel through the Sword Worlds.
Basically, yeah, I was thinking just
Aesir
like,
Breaker.
well, no, to anyone who doesn't know who the ship is, it would be like the name. It would be like the title of a really popular song from the war. So people might be like, "Oh, that's cool." Right, he's got the Odin's Wrath. That's Odin's Wrath LLC. But then to anyone who knows Cassian,
That sounds a bit white.
or Calcian, the captain, it would be a super insult.
People lost millions of mega credits. The multimedia industry was savaged by that damn song.
Yeah, and I do.
Keep Breaking Heart Corporation, and we would like.
Over there,
I
corporation.
imagine what Calcian did to the Sagamal music industry was equivalent to what. I can see his face. I can't see his name.
So LATVG Imperial Shipping Company for now.
Sounds good. Latvik.
It's either because they're like, we'll give you one of our placeholder names. Why? Because the ultimate placeholder is company number.
Oh no! Well, we just need to name it Void Shipping.
That's taken.
Yeah.
That's not taken.
It's 100% taken.
We have a level 5 law firm. I think it's not taken.
I mean, if you want them to sue over it, sure. You really want the name? It seems like.
Okay.
Hey, you're paying their bill, sure. If you want them to fight it, they'll try.
Like, if it doesn't add to our retainer, if it's just something they can do for us this year, then sure, get us the name.
Yeah, I think they should just call us Void Strider Shipping. That way we keep the original name. With the Void Gazer, but we're Void Strider Shipping.
Yeah, the reason I thought Void was because I was assuming we were going to buy or build more ships long in the future, and they would be the Void line of ships.
But consider the fact that Void is a common Anglic word to refer to space. We're the sea shipping company. Well, yes. We're an ocean liner company. Yeah, a lot of people take that name. Isn't as catchy though, but you know.
Yeah, we could do Void Strider Shipping.
Yeah, they can change the name into the Void something.
Yeah.
Void Strider Shipping.
Void Strider.
Oh, and it might just be Void Strider Company or something like that, or Void Strider Corporation, because shipping is not our primary thing. But yeah, we can. I'm sure I will have a better suggestion later.
Yeah, it's a good one. VS Co.
Void Strider Co. or VS Co.
Yep. Okay, that's done then.
See, Trisani liked my name. It's in the Discord.
Oh, I didn't even see I didn't see why it was LatVG.
Yeah, it's your name. It's your last name.
I just thought you made something up.
I mean, I did.
Yeah, it's our last name and the Void Gazer. Yeah, LatVG.
That's actually pretty good.
You want to keep the original name?
Let's just keep the original name. We'll table it and we'll talk with everybody. Yeah. So yeah, now let's go see.
Sure, you don't want to change the name?
Also, I love that from Calvir, because he's not here. His point of view, like he just said he liked it, and we switched back. Yeah, I think. Now that the shares have been sent off and our ship is being built, now we need to actually get it built in this decade.
Yeah, so I think our next step in that is going to see deck nulls.
Yep.
So. 2 and 3 was 1 day later. Where did my... What? Pin. Go where I clicked you to go. Go here. Thank you.
I think our meeting with him was 5 days after the day we started this episode.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 217. Actually, you are invited to speak with Deck Knowles in one of the offices he has on the station.
Okay.
And you see him standing at a window looking out into the planet below.
Very important man with very important thoughts to think as he stares down at the planet below.
Does that mean we're gonna like walk into this room? I that made me think of like a now I lost the word. The like the 40s detective books, pulp. Like a pulp detective meeting. Like Tarvin will come in.
Darrian.
Yeah, Tarvin will come in a red dress and ask the nice man for some help finding.
That's right.
some help.
Then he walked into the office. Kodiak-looking fella, about 19 feet tall.
You see when you encounter him that he has rounded ears. He looks to be a human of some kind.
Oh.
I give a sigh of relief. I don't have to talk about the years.
Well met, Trader Knowles. I'm Tarbin Arctos, and this is Sir Calcian Langhoff.
In Anglic, he says, "It is good to meet you, although I have a feeling we've crossed paths with before. This funny feeling in the back of my mind that we saw each other on Galentine. But perhaps not."
It is possible. I was on Galentine for several months recently, till we made our way here.
If that were the case, you must have been on a fairly fast ship to get here the same time I did.
We took advantage of...
Oh, I recall now. You were in the company of a sword wielder, border wielder.
Yes.
Oberst
Hervor.
Lieutenant Hervor? Something like that?
Yes. The Oberst Lieutenant was part of our group. However, she decided to take retirement after we worked with Professor Calvir Trissani and were able to be of some service to the Sword Worlds with helping them fight the psionic plague.
I will have to feign ignorance. I do not think I had the pleasure.
Oh, you, Sir Langhoff, I have heard of you had something to do with some rather interesting Sword World CDs and vinyls and such. Although I didn't know any Darrian nobles dealt in that, but oh well.
No, but sometimes if you find creative ways to help the war effort, you get a sash.
Oh. Entirely sure how music helps with that, but I am not a noble, so I won't question it. Where are you a noble from, sir?
A Darrian knight.
I'm well aware of that. It's your holdings. I might want to purchase something from your land. Maybe you have a really nice winery I'm not aware of.
You're interested in wineries, are you? I've got a great land grant about 16 parsecs coreward. Be perfect for a vineyard.
I have this on my sheet. I can't seem to find it. Oh, there it is. I am a knight to one of the small states on Zamine. There might be some vintage that you enjoy from the planet, although they do not have the refined technologies available that most Darrian space has.
Well, I suppose we could make some sort of deal on that front. There's always time whenever it comes to worlds of interstellar standing, there is always a chance for wealth, and they are on the edge of the trade lane, if I'm not mistaken.
I would invite you to trade, although I imagine with your assets, you might be able to buy their entire economy.
I see no interest in stealing the... Well, I mean, if you wish to hire me as a retainer seneschal, I suppose I could do that on my spare time. But I would just be buying, I would like to survey and see if there's anything I could make my friends meet your friends, so to speak, and see if there's any business arrangements we can make that are mutually profitable. But if you wish to hire me as your seneschal, I have fees for that.
Calcian is kind of worried this guy takes things super literally.
We're actually here on other business, part of which is we hope to trade some intelligence about Susag, the Border Worlds, and the mess in the Entrope, Anselholm, Torment, and Winston sections that is looking like they're pushing to boil over. We also have some interest in the Spinward expeditions towards Redane and beyond. As a former scout myself, I have a continued interest in exploration, and we have just begun to fund a ship. And we, having had dealings with Susag in various formats in the Border Worlds, very interested in the opportunities you have been speaking of patrons that don't have too much to do with mega corporations, the Travelers Aid Society accepted as always. But
wait a minute, aren't you those Galatian travelers? Who was the one that talked about you? Victor I. You're Victor I's friends. I had a meeting with what's his name? It's Villani too. I should remember it.
he said we were whose friends?
Victor I, the reporter for the free TAS.
Yes, Victor. Yes.
Yeah. Calvir Trusani and the other one I think was Zodani. Don't tell me. I'll get it. Attal? No, that's the title. He's an Attal, the baronet, so and such. I'm sorry?
Iblif Attal.
I'm never going to say that.
Yeah, we just often call him the baronet ourselves.
Okay, baronet.
Although, well, I do speak Jadetl, so yes, that's us.
Oh, well, don't we already have an agreement then? He looks at you puzzled.
I'm sorry, GM, you have lost me.
You guys learned about this a long time ago because they had a meeting with this guy back on Galatia. Galentine, it's the same guy. He's one of the people you delivered the box to.
Oh, right.
It was the time.
Wait, where? Which one was he?
Yeah, I think it was the episode when I wasn't there.
It was the Darrian branch office.
I thought that guy was described as a Darrian.
People can't tell the difference. You know the difference. He's dressed like one, he talks like one, but he's not one.
Oh.
Also, I screwed up. I had the wrong image.
I wasn't here that week.
Also, I forgot that Darrian are basically space elves. I was like, oh, they literally have the pointed ears and everything. Whoops. Oh, well,
Well, the only person who who is here that was also there. Well, actually, they're not even there. Was Hervor, and Hervor probably does think all Darrian and Soleimani and Darrian's face look alike.
So Tarvin's probably, it's like you only know about it from them telling you after the fact. You never met the guy.
We would have Hervor would have referred to him as the flute guy.
Yeah, Tarvin was trying to say, yes, I remember my companions telling me of you now. I'm afraid I was otherwise engaged. But as far as they mentioned, it was just a possibility of further patronage contacts, which, to be fair, we're still looking for. However, we were also hoping to get your assistance in helping us get a rather sensitive artifact into appropriate safe hands.
Official safe hands.
Yes.
What sort of artifact? He walks a little bit further away from the window and just within arm's reach of both of you, and just looks you in the eyes, like just glancing back and forth.
Well, we have come into possession of an ancient artifact of unknown provenance. It appears to be related to some devices that I have heard about during my career as a Imperial Scout. That I don't know if you're familiar with the stories of the Pink Ooze.
I'm aware.
It seems to be potentially related to those type of artifacts. However, it may also be something completely different. It's an ancient artifact. So our actual exposure to it has been brief. It carried a specific, although not at all unpleasant odor, and appeared to be vocalizing or broadcasting in an audible realm at a very low level. We, as you can imagine, did not allow ourselves to be exposed to it for any length of time. We are certain that this artifact, despite my somewhat amateurish interest in archaeology, is well beyond our technical capabilities, even certainly now and even in the future, though our ship will be well outfitted for exploration and scientific investigation. But we want to be sure that it does not wind up in the hands of some mega corporation or other potentially nefarious institution.
We wish to see if it is a artifact of little danger but extreme value. We wish to see it in official hands, and we wish your help getting it there, because we do need some of the recognition that would come with such a discovery. If it is a dangerous artifact, we wish you to let us know so that we may dispose of it without endangering anyone.
Where did you find this artifact? That may give me some hint as to its provenance and use.
We found the person who stole it. It was found in a factory.
Yes, it was in the hands of Instel Tech.
Instel Arms, I think.
Instel Arms, but it was stolen by someone who, with a, shall we say, anti-megacorp worldview, and then stolen again from this person, and we recovered it. And having dealt with Susag enough to have a slight anti-megacorp leaning ourselves, we thought it best to get it into responsible hands, and with your connections within the Darrian sphere, we thought you might be the person to see to help us determine who that might be and to get it to them with a minimum of difficulties.
Where's the artifact now?
In the TS vault.
He stares at you, like just utterly floored. I'm sorry? He says it in the Darrian language. Could you say that again?
I beg your pardon?
I'm confused because I can speak Anglic. Like I assume I've been talking Anglic to this
Yeah,
dude.
he speaks Anglic too, and he just repeats the question. And he says, "Could you say that again in Tazalt?" As he's like, "I'm sorry. Could you say that again?"
Streetwise? Because now this guy's got me feeling like I may be on tape or something.
Intelligence, 1 die. Streetwise.
Then yeah, that's a success.
Yeah. You get the feeling he doesn't believe you. Like, he thinks he misheard you. He's like, there's no way it's just sitting in a vault no more than a elevator ride away. Like, how'd you... Like, it's a... What? And he's making sure that he did just confuse his Anglic, because Anglic is definitely not his first language. That's what that role was.
I say in Tizult then. It's in the Traveler Society vault.
Ah, I see. He switches back to Anglic. I did hear you correctly. All right.
In a protective case and under the appropriate safeguards. But
I say in Anglic, are you confused at how it got there?
A bit, yes.
I lightly caress my sash.
But
with proper station, anything can be achieved.
Did you work with this? So hold on, I'm confused. So you came into you hired a thief to steal from Install Arms.
No.
Oh,
we found the thief. The thief wanted us to retake it from
found
Install
the
Arms.
thief with a stolen artifact.
The person stole the artifact. The artifact was then stolen from the thief by people who may or may not have been associated with Install Arms.
Okay.
That remains a bit murky, and we took it from them.
He sits down in a chair, just rubs his head, like just utterly...
Non-violently, of course.
Oh,
we
of
got
course.
it non-violently.
I've heard many stories about how people come into possession of such things.
No. Literally, we just talked them into giving it to us.
So, as travelers,
okay,
we felt that this was probably a little bit beyond our pay grade. We were hired to retrieve the object under false pretenses. We were told it was legally acquired shares in a mega corporation, only to discover upon retrieving the artifact that it was in fact something completely different. So finding ourselves in possession of what I'm sure you'll agree is a highly volatile, in potentially several different meanings of the word, objects, that the best thing was for us to do would be
who hired you, though?
Appropriate hands.
The thief.
He puts his hand in his face.
At the time, we didn't know he was the thief.
The thief hired travelers to steal to get something he stole from someone who stole from him, and now you've convinced this thief.
And we didn't know until he was the thief until after we got control of the item.
Okay.
Indeed, he presented himself as and he is the descendant of part of the police nobility on Capitol and Saleya.
They have police nobility? He looks at you puzzled.
Well, not him, because his family has been disgraced since then, but they do.
All right.
Ancient minor nobility, put it that way.
Okay.
Also, where the object came from, I think, is much less important than what it is.
Well, if I knew where it came from, well, okay, so we can narrow it down a little bit. If the last person we can trace it back to is Install Arms, Install Arms doesn't give time to toys and music boxes. It would have something to do with their work. So some sort of armament or protection from an armament, energy source maybe.
That also assumes they knew what it did.
I mean,
Exactly.
Yeah, they may have taken it. Just said, "Oh, all right." Well, Okay. So how'd you get the thief to let you trade it? To turn it over?
We
He
have
signed a
him.
contract, and I'm a 9-foot grizzly bear.
You intimidated the man?
He
No.
broke the terms of his contract.
Yes. He is in He's in legal difficulties, and if he wishes to get out of those legal difficulties by thieving, we have an impressive 9-foot bear to stop him from the thieving.
Okay. All right. So, okay, I think I understand. So you don't want to, I imagine, sell this back to Instill Arms. You want to sell it or get a reward for turning it over to the local Darrian nobility in their scholarly circles.
In fact, we want something very specific. We want to give this artifact to the right people within the scientific community or the government, and for those people to issue us shipping permits.
You just want shipping permits?
We need the various what they call it, commissions and local paperwork done so that we can convert the build time of our ship from years to months.
What sort of ship are you building that requires years? I'm going to stop asking questions. That's not relevant to this discussion.
Actually,
okay.
You probably want to hire us once we have this ship.
All right. We'll have a jump for capacity and 1,100 tons, plus...
Was that his comm badge?
yeah, plus... that's start my phone, sorry. Plus more sensors than you could shake a stick at, and complete laboratory setups. But that's for another day.
Yeah, its primary mission is as a beagle, secondary as a trader. I'm not going to mention the third one.
Right, that's probably for the best.
Are you the ones trying to source for that void something or other? The void gazer?
That's us. I'm surprised you've heard of us.
Now he knows about the gun.
Okay. This is okay. All right. So, I understand. Something that big would require. Okay. So you want them to give you the. Okay, I understand now. All right. Okay. So, you sure that's all you want? I can do that. That's not. That seems like a pretty good trade, but I mean, being honest with you, traveler to traveler, I mean, you could probably get a bit of money out of it too.
I mean,
Well,
some money would be nice. A duchy would be nice.
Well,
our
let's not get too crazy.
our companion will need to be financially reimbursed as he has no shareholding in the ship.
Yeah.
The
Basically,
thief? Okay. I mean, sure, we could pay him off, I guess.
we would like the permits and whatever else excess great will is afforded us turned into cash.
I mean,
Or titles if cash is short.
So what am I getting out of it? Beyond the glory of the deal, because this is a nice deal to be part of, but I'm not seeing how this profit's made.
Well, let's negotiate a
broker's
fee.
fee?
Yeah, I'll start trying to negotiate a fee with him.
What's your initial fee? What's the initial offer? Because he may just say yes to a number. If it's high enough.
Basically, the first thing that popped into my head was when you go to certain store, there's like a list in the trading book around brokers and like what fee they can expect from their level in brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't exactly have it memorized, but my thought was to go look there for the answer to that question.
So, and the approximate value of this artifact is pretty much a resource unit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
So I mean, even just straight broker's fee for that would be significant.
You're offering him standard broker rate, basically.
I was gonna look at the percentage, right? Where I don't want to get into the weeds about the specific number of mega credits.
Yeah.
But I remember there is I think a chart that would help me or you get to an appropriate number, and that chart is on page 220, bottom left-hand corner, book 2.
Departure, basic trade strategy, long-term mail contract.
It's the broker's box. It basically
it's lower left. I look lower right. My brain. Don't mind me.
Yeah. And it's not 1-to-1 what we're doing and what this chart is showing. It's just my brain went to this might get us closer to the answer.
Yeah. So you have various percentages there. And
basically, am I arguing against his brokerage skills or like?
Well, no. If you you're trying to get, because if you just say 20%, he'll just say yes, because that's a good deal.
I don't want to give a number he just says yet to. I want to give a number that he's like, I can take that. That's acceptable.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Now you need to roll. Yeah. That's what I was checking.
Okay. I thought you were asking me what the actual number was, and I was like, I have no idea.
Calculate a resource unit worth of 20%.
But but also before we get too far, we want the commissions so our ship gets built in months instead of years. But money's also good too.
And titles are good too.
Yeah, I mean, Tarvin, he's got a social standing of 12 now, but he doesn't have a title, so, land grant and a title wouldn't be a bad thing. But, so, I mean, we still want, say if the commissions and stuff are the equivalent's worth of a mega credit, because that's what it would cost us to grease wheels. So.
Oh, you're right. I see what you're saying. There's basically 1,000 of the money that we could get for this case could fund speeding up the process of our ship 1,000 times.
Right.
Okay.
So, okay. 1/1000th of that, okay, that's what it costs to speed up the ship. Then after that, there's a ton of more potential booty.
Titles, well, I say the highest priority is getting the ship built. The second highest priority is titles. The third highest priority is permits to go, not just, hey, why don't y'all go search out these hidden planets, these undiscovered planets for us in the next sector over, but here's a grant for y'all to go do it, to cover your expenses.
Well, that's a patronage, but you can get even without this, if you get your ship, once your ship's in the air and you can give its mission profiles and your certs, then you can get patrons to go, hey, you look for patrons to fill out your mission profiles.
Right.
Because if you get an official commission, like a noble's commission, then you're in official capacities rather than a traveler's charter. If you get what I'm saying.
Then I guess let's get the appropriate permits, any titles that are available, and money. What else would we want beyond money?
Eternal youth, sonic powers.
Pretty sure Darrian, actually they might be able to test us, but I don't know that I want the answer to that.
Happy marriage.
I mean, can it be arranged?
I mean, they can arrange anything. They can even build you one if you want.
Well, I mean, there's also I mean, we could potentially negotiate for annual starship maintenance at any Darrian starport without
actually
for a number of years.
What I thought was funny, the value of this, if we get its full value, right, we could build a second ship or the ship twice as large, because that's this ship that we're building is half as valuable as this case.
Well, but the larger the ship gets, the less impressive the engines get. So I don't want a bigger ship.
Yes, I think free maintenance for a long time.
I mean, honestly, we're paying him. Let's see what he can broker for us. And,
let's negotiate a fee with him and then tell him to just get us all the things he can get.
So give me Uh, a number. 1 second.
1. Actually, 3 of them. I'll give you 3 ones.
Are you bribing me? That's against the rules. I think I'm going to kick you out of the game now.
You already forced 3 6s on me. I think I deserve 3 ones.
Forced? You rolled them.
Right.
Don't blame me. You could have said no, I won't roll. But no, you took your chances. And
Harbin got 3 ones this episode. I want 3 ones.
Hell, what was I looking for? There we go. Give me intelligence broker 4 dice.
Can I assist with my broker?
You certainly could.
My
What's your
broker's only 2, but there's 2 for you.
Just don't get 3 6s for the love of God.
I was just checking if there's anything I could argue that modifies this. He wouldn't happen to want a bearer proxy. But no, I think I'll just roll. That's a success. In fact, that's a success without Tarbin's help, but Tarbin did help.
2 more 6s. That's 3 6s. No. Now I'm
I
forcing
see.
3
So
6s
all I
on
gotta
you.
type in the chat is what I want. And that's what I
What's your broker skill and Tarbin's broker skill together?
6, but I have a +1 mod. I don't know if that matters.
It does, yeah.
Well, then it would be the answer 7.
So. He hums and haws, and you talk back and forth about it. He talks back and forth about it. And, you are talking about shaving, how much of a shaving of resource units it is. And you can tell he's pretty eager about it. He's kind of, getting the trade in resource unit level trades is a fun thing to do. Especially even as someone as acclaimed as him, this is a big trade that he gets to be part of. Even though, part of it's just the fame of it. In the merchant circles, he'll get a bit of a pat on the back anyway. So he hums and haws about it eventually, and he goes, you know what? I think I'm willing to take 5%. Just because I know I'm getting so much out of this on my own. So that will cover most of the commission anyway. And 5% just raw cash, just so I'm actually, I have something liquid on me. Payable on sale, obviously. If I sell it for crap, then I'm ruining my own pay. But if I sell it really well, better fame for me, better payout for me, better payout for you.
That works for me.
And if I remember right, as far as cash, the cash value of this goes, me, Tarbin, and was it Calvir or Ibn Flotilla that was here last week? I think it's Ibn.
Calvir.
It was Calvir. Okay. The 3 of us each get a third of a third. The other 2/3 belong to him, and we get 20% we get a percentage of his. You'll have to figure that out, LGM. But we get. I know outright, our traveling group gets a third. He gets 2/3, and then we also get a percentage of his because he was forced to let me broker for him.
And surely you charge him 20%.
Yeah, I charge him as much as I can. He can't really argue, so.
Yeah.
All right, well, I got to make some calls and have some meetings. I should find out. Selling it sight unseen is going to be annoying, but there's people who buy stuff like that, and they'll pay when they actually see it, and we can make it all official and make sure the appropriate authorities are present.
Yeah. The fact that it's official matters more to us than the money.
Well, the official means that we also, I can handle the tax side of it. I'll handle all that. I have a couple of law firms I can talk to.
Here's our law firm's card.
Are you with an Imperial company? Oh, whatever. Hire whoever you want. Well, these guys are actually pretty good.
Reputable.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, these are very reputable.
I've never dealt with SYG before, but I've heard good things about them. Have you done with them much business with them?
We're a new client.
Oh.
Yes. We've just
How much do
taken
they
them in
charge
for
you?
retainer.
Yes, most lawyers do.
No, how much did they charge you, though?
Oh, do I think lying here and saying we paid a really cheap fee would be good?
Do you want to roll insight on that?
Sure. Hey, Inslee, we
Harvard-
forgot. We have all these things.
Oh yeah, that's true. I did roll luck once, so
Yeah, that's a success.
Don't lie to him.
Okay. No, okay. Yes, we.
as new clients, even although clients of good standing, we had to pay the going rates. So about $100,000 for an annual retainer to take care of whatever legal.
Oh,
matters
you just
might
had a
come
ship
up for our
charter.
corporation.
Okay.
Right.
That makes sense. That's a good price. These days, a lot of the, I deal with them, but prices have been going up lately. Everyone's getting real touchy about lawsuits these days in the Darrian legal circles. I don't know what that's all about.
I'm sure it has something to do with the V2 movement that's been so prevalent in the press these days. Some people are just terribly insensitive.
I just don't see why they can't just leave the virtual AIs alone. I mean, they just do whatever they want. But yeah, no, I'll get back to you. I'll get you a ground floor quote tomorrow, and then I can start hammering. If that's too low, well, if it's too low, I'll probably be very angry and I'll be shouting at people until it gets higher. But I'll get a number for you tomorrow. If it sounds way too low, then I can ask around a bit more. If it sounds about right, then I can start hammering the deal and probably have it done by... If we can get the first deal down, first ballpark number down, then I'm looking at 2 days. If we need to negotiate harder, or if you want me to negotiate harder, it'll probably take me a week. Because then I have to start sitting down with some of the council members and such. But I can get those meetings done. It's just if we don't have to do the bigger meetings, then that means less political entanglements. We're just dealing among friends as opposed to the government. I mean, we are dealing with the government at some point because at some point they need to be involved. Right. But the lower on the ladder we go, the less complicated it gets for travelers.
And we need to include them because titles, right? So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, we lower titles can always get us higher titles in theory.
Well, and here's my comm code, and we are staying in the Traveler in the TAS hotel, and they can, of course, always get messages to us.
Right.
Are you satisfied with the item remaining in the TAS vaults?
For now, yes. Once we're actually doing the trade, they'll want to examine it and stuff like that. So that's why we'll have to give a fuzzy number back to you, because they'll give me a fuzzy number. I just have to make sure the fuzzy number is high enough that's worth us taking it out of the vault.
Of course.
The number could go down if the thing's just a glorified can opener, but...
We just thought the vault would be the securest and least troublesome place to store it for the meantime.
Right. That sounds good for me, and you'll keep it in good company, and I'll make sure we all get wondrously rich.
No. Thank you. It's been a pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with the two of you. Hope you have... Are you staying at the TES hotel?
Yes.
Yep. All right, well, enjoy. I would suggest taking one of their orbital tours. I hear they're quite pretty this time of year. They let you see the planet, let you orbit for a bit. It's quite fun. If you've never done it before. If you've done a 0G dive before, you You've done it before. You've seen it.
So, yep, say our goodbyes and head on back, and let's inform our criminal co-conspirator about what's been going on.
I'm kind of hoping he's still there and hasn't done something stupid.
So you get to the lounge. You don't see him there.
Well, he's with Iblith, right?
Iblith have to go somewhere. Something to do with the Jordani consulate. Official business.
Well, let's see if we can't reach him on comms or something.
Yep.
He doesn't pick up his comm unit. Which, for that not to work, especially at a Class A starport, he'd have to be outside the star system. He'd have to have left the entire star system.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I look at Tarbin like, if he's gone, this is your fault.
my fault? How's it my fault?
I told you we shouldn't trust him.
Well, you're the one who stuck him with Iblith.
So he wouldn't just walk off.
So yeah, let's go make sure the item that we deposited is still in the vault.
The AI appears. Hello, how can I help you?
We'd like you to examine and locate this item and confirm visually and tactilely that it is still in this vault.
It is in fact still in the vault.
Excellent. Has anyone attempted to access it since we deposited it?
No.
And I tried to clarify with the system. You didn't just look through a camera feed. You have tried to touch it, manipulate it, and verify that the physical object is still there.
Sir Calcian, we have a variety of sensors to ensure that simple programming trickery is not enough to defeat our security measures.
We are worried about someone who has. We are worried about a thief that has stolen from a megacorp and has the skills to do so, which is why we would like you to take every precaution to confirm that it is actually there.
I can, if it would make you feel better, I can send a blood and flesh person into the secure areas to touch the box.
Make sure they don't open it, but yes, if they could touch it.
Aeon just gives you a flat look.
Hey,
Sighs. Very well.
a rogue recognizes what a rogue would do, right?
Fair point.
Might as well have a seat. It's going to take an hour for them to get down there.
I take a seat knowing full well that case is not there anymore, and it is all Tarbin's fault.
How is it my fault? You're the one who didn't want to drag him along with us. But in any event, Tarbin is going to go to the front desk of... Go to the lounge and see if he's been there, if anybody's seen him. I'm sure I have an image of him somewhere.
Yeah, ask around. Some people say, yeah, he barely leaves the place. Once that Jordani left, he retreated off to his room. We haven't seen him since. I mean, room service is a thing. Maybe he's just spooked by all the... I mean, for Valani, he seems really spooked about traveling, but well, whatever.
So, yeah, Tarbin will go up to the guy's room.
So, Langoff is waiting in the lounge for the package to be found.
Right.
This one? Nope. Every time. Nope. I gotta redo my music. It's all screwy. The titles keep throwing me off. Oh, fine. This one. Oh, there we go. You go into one of the more secure areas where a lot of the rooms are. When it comes to this place, the corridors are pretty. There's a lot less wiring like there is in this picture. Like it's a lot more covered with like paintings and stuff like that. But you having served on a naval vessel and been in secure facilities before, yeah, this is a hard corridor that's meant to withstand explosions and energy weapons and stuff like that. This is high security with artwork hung over it.
Okay.
Yeah, you find his room, room 511.
All right. I will chime the bell.
You press the contact and no noise happens.
I'll knock on the door.
With your meaty paw, dunk, 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 dunk. Yeah, there's no way he couldn't have heard that. But he doesn't answer the door.
I'll try the door.
And it says in various languages, locked. Do not disturb. And then it shows a symbol.
Okay. I'm going to still my breathing and have a listen. My sense of hearing is better than a human's, although it's not like on the level with my sense of smell. Although maybe I can smell something from under the door, but I would imagine not in a space station.
Give me intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
It would be 4. I'm going to knock it down to 3 because you do have time to just stand there and listen carefully.
Mm-hmm.
3 die intelligence. If you have a skill you think would help here, I'd listen to it, but I can't think of any skill off the top of my head that would demand to be used here.
How about survival?
I'll take survival.
Okay, so 12. And how many dice? 3?
3.
Okay, so looking for 12 or less on 3. Oof. Let me try my luck. I'm at 6 now. So I made it.
You listen very carefully. You hear the hum of an entertainment unit, like one of the television set, basically, with it that's on. Not very loud, but it's probably muffled by the door, so it's probably quite loud in there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's you're an earth sign that banged on a metal door.
Right.
He had to have heard that. It wasn't that. If it was so loud he couldn't hear that, you'd hear it. You'd hear it just by standing there. It'd be booming. You also hear some the hum of a cleaning unit. Like there's like a robot that moves around and cleans the floor and mops it and stuff like that. It sounds like it's stuck on something. Like it's bumping into something and trying to get around it.
Oh, they done killed him.
Yeah. Okay. First I'm going to call Calcian and let him know that the door buzzer's been disabled and there's no answer at Kirti's room, and I suspect foul play.
Have they got back to me about the case yet?
Not yet.
So I'm going to call I'll tell Calcian, I'm going to call the hotel management and see if we can't get in here, check on him.
All right.
So then I will put a call through to front desk and management and say that I am concerned about my friend. Tell them that I'm an Ursa and that that I appear to be hearing potential signs of someone in distress or who has been hurt and knocked unconscious inside, and request that the TAS hotel management and security come and open up the room and see what's going on.
Yep. They between the fact that you're a lifetime member, you're actually famous in the TAS news currently. They know the three of you came here together. It's like, okay, well, and he's kind of here on your guys' recommendation. Like, okay, he can stay here, but only because you guys say because he has a deal and stuff like that. But eventually, some security people come up and they nod and
get out of their way.
A Darrian person comes up to the door, takes a key card, and jams it into it, swipes at it a couple times. Eventually the lock symbol disappears and shows the TAS hand symbol briefly, showing that it was a TAS member that, like a member of staff that forced the door open. And they kind of back away from the door. The two security people say, stand back, Mr. Arctos. And they draw their sidearms.
I'll let them clear the place.
They press the contact and they both rush into the room.
I'll look through the open door.
The staffer kind of looks with you like, what is going on? And inside, you see one guy ducks into the bathroom area, and one person keeps going forward into the living room suite area. And very quickly, you find yourself, you see the person standing over the guy, and you see that the good Mr. Kirdy is absent one head.
Well, at least we can still use his hand to open up the vault.
Yeah, please secure that hand quickly. Actually, I'm sure there's some clause probably like if you can certify that the other has died, like you get that they're no longer a holder of the safe, right? You can
see you can kind of hear them talking to the radio a bit as they talk a little quietly. And you can hear them say, found the body, no one else here. Basic clearing talk over the radios to each other. So they're not shouting throughout the entire room. It's like, no, they have like a little throat mic they're whispering into.
Assuming it is Kirdy, not just someone who's built to look like Kirdy.
Do you have any knowns? Yeah, the bear found him. Arctos? Yeah. Anyone else? There's a Langoff on file. Okay. Right. Well, we better get them secured for now. Figure out what's going on. Form Starport Authority. Yep. I'm going to hold over the body. Yep, got it. Guy comes out of the bathroom, walks over to you, puts his pistol away. Mr. Arctos, I'm going to need you to come with me. It seems that your friend is deceased, and we need to launch an investigation to figure out why it happened and to make sure that you're not in danger. We're also going to need to involve the Starport Authority as well.
You have to do what you have to do, I suppose. You make sure that that's actually Kirdy's body.
He looks at you. You don't believe it's him?
Doesn't have a head. He could very well have been kidnapped and this left for to make us think that he was dead. In any event, his biometrics should be on file. He deposited something in the vault with us this morning, or the other morning. But I could be completely wrong, but
You're a very cynical Ursine, aren't you, sir?
well, I spent 12 years in the Scouts and learned very quickly that oftentimes things aren't exactly what they appeared, so it kind of goes with the territory, I'm afraid. And then I was in the Navy, where it's even worse.
For a brief moment, you remember a terrible scene you saw as a scout when you found something very similar during your travels into the core word.
Oh no, I made a sanity roll, didn't I?
You made it, because somehow this is, it's... Whew, you've seen worse than this.
Oof.
You've seen worse than this. That's why. So Arctos kind of comes off a little calmer to this guy, and then this guy just kind of gives you a okay. And then when you tell him that you were a scout, he gives a knowing like, oh, that's why. Well, nothing wrong with being thorough, and we have the tech to do it. So we'll make sure.
And lead on. I'm happy to cooperate in every way, as I'm sure my companion, Sir Langhoff, will be as well.
Very quickly, Kelsian, you see a couple of people in nice jackets, and you can see the glitter in TS jackets. But rather than the normal like staffer jackets and vests and stuff, underneath the jacket, you can see that they're wearing a mesh underneath, and they have sidearms tucked under their coat. They don't draw them or anything. They just walk up to you and say very quietly, Sir Cassian, we're with the Travel Aid Society security here at the hotel. We need you to come with us, please. A matter of urgency.
Authorization? I asked to see their credentials.
They nod, and one of them gestures to the table that you're sitting next to, and then puts their hand down on it. Computer, verify my credentials, please. You see a UPP code write out. A hologram appears in the room. People look over because it's like, huh? Normally the hologram doesn't appear next to people like that. It's usually behind a desk. But, you know, the hologram... But then they're confused. They look over, and then the hologram kind of looks at him, looks at you, and then puts their hands together, and then spreads them apart at eye level with you. And you can see that the credentials of the person in front of you, that they're a TAS hotel security.
All right.
It says other stuff too, because you're a member. So like, no. If you want to know if one of us is real, yep, no, you get to know that.
I'm having it verified that something is in your vault that should be. If it comes back that it is not in your vault, then whatever crime that you are investigating is dwarfed by the crime related to that. So, if you wouldn't mind, let's wait a few more minutes to see if you have been robbed.
You need to give me a persuasion roll, because they want to take you in. They're just being polite about it.
And he rolls 666s, and they frog march him into the.
You're doing a persuade, 3 dice. Force of will. Sounds like authority to me.
I'm trying to get to there.
4, 8. I'm feeling law of similarity right now because these are traveler aid members who are talking to a traveler aid member. Because they're not cops, they're TAS security. They're like, hey, it's like, we don't. If you leave, we'd have to call the cops about it, but we don't. Do we want to bother with that? Because you're not doing anything violent or anything, so it's not like they can go, "Oh, we're defending the lounge." Like, well, you're not doing anything. You're just being stubborn. Being stubborn isn't a membership violation. So I'm looking at 3D on 8 plus 1 is 9. Plus, yeah, I'm seeing 9 off the top of my head. Unless you think you can think of a skill that would help with this in any way.
No, I was thinking about. Why? No.
These guys. We're in
Could I?
the midnight watches here. This is all going to hell quickly.
I'm pretty sure the last time I saw these guys, they tried to murder me outside of a councilman's house. I was wondering if you would accept an additional strategy of charming
No.
at a -1.
No.
No.
$13 is a fail, I believe.
Yep.
Sir Calcian, we believe that you may be in danger, and that your presence, should it remain here, could imperil other people here. So we can inform you of where the device you're looking for is through our staff. But right now, we need you to come with us. Or we'll be forced to request Starport Authority assistance.
Very well.
And they gesture. The whole time they're keeping their voices low, like they're trying not to make a huge scene out of it, because they're not trying to accuse you in front of all the other travelers of anything. It's like, no, just... We get it, but, you know.
Yeah. I'll, to the person who was talking to me, I'll hand them the card of the law firm that we hired.
Mm-hmm.
And say, unless it is to describe to me the location of the case I asked your attendant, all communications must go through these people.
Understood, sir. They told while holding the card, while they're passing by one of the contacts on one of the walls, they say 1 moment. And they hold it up to the contact so the computer can see it, and it's like they say, "Please inform them that they wish to speak with their client as listed." And you hear it acknowledged from the wall, and then I'll hang on to the card though, so that way we can follow up, make sure it's them and all that. I assume you want to meet with them in person. They keep walking.
I don't say anything further.
Oh. The other person kind of going to look like, what did you think that was going to happen? Oh, yeah, right. They just told us. There we go. Sorry, my preview window was being a little wonky. And as the two of you are brought into safe holding in the TS security, that is where we'll stop for today. And we'll find out next time what precisely is going on around here. For all those of you who are watching, thank you very much for watching. Those of you playing, thank you very much for playing. And we'll see you next time.